he's getting older, so he may not be a permanent solution in terms of how much longer he's going to be
practicing. Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
he thinks he's going to practice forever, but who knows?
Sure. Okay.
We're gonna...
First thing first, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and first.
Well, chat, we're going to get started here in a second. I'm just getting things set up. It's just taking me a moment because I've been going nonstop today. All right.
Been on camera a lot today.
That was a busy day. It was a busy day yesterday, too.
Yeah.
Can't be on camera yet, though.
We are doing all right. Let's just get these last few things clicked in place here.
Yeah. Bring go. You were there for Bring Your... Oh, you were all there for Bring Your Dip. Look at this.
Yep.
Did you guys have fun with Dip?
That was a really good time, yeah.
It was a good stream.
That was so funny.
Dib's a natural.
I love when he's like, this one,
Yep.
this one,
Yep.
this one. He just kept going. And
Yep.
comedy go.
Like, oh, this guy's 9. Hell yeah.
Did Dan and him make any truces?
They did, and
Yeah.
and
They were best friends.
Dan kept it most of the time, and then Dib was constantly breaking it.
He was really testing Dan. It was
Yep.
great.
All right, that's good. I'm on the chat.
I love that he was the only one trying to play the video game while all these chuckleheads were fucking around with their skins.
Well, yeah, we gotta be bad YouTubers. Live up to our names.
That's right. Okay, I feel like I'm forgetting something, but it's probably
Did you
all
tweet?
good.
Did you tweet?
No, I didn't tweet. No, that's like I feel like I'm
that's
forgetting something
weird.
before that, but that's probably just all it is.
Well, we need the music though.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't tested the music. I'll do that after this.
I almost forgot to record. I was in bed. I was like, it was so warm in bed, and it's so cold out here.
Man, I'm just gonna say it. I think playing Fallout in third person mode is kind of unhinged.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. I'm against it.
I'm against it. I don't respect it.
It's for sickos and
I think
perverts.
he
We all
goes
know it.
against God's nature.
Yeah. Don't tell Bailey I just said that.
Oh, is Bailey playing third person?
Oh, is Bailey doing
She told me to
that?
play in third person while I was
she
playing
like
it.
she tried to bully Grubb to do
Yeah.
it twice.
Oh, Bailey,
Grubb
no.
was like, no.
Ew.
me, mama, like the wind in the rain. Rock me, mama.
Southbound train. Lovely. I always want to say hurricane also. It's not right. Southbound.
Hey, Mike Minotti.
Vicky had all the CD emotes. Every single
He
one
had
of
so many goddamn emos, man.
Yeah, that was great. That was a good bit.
That's right, Nick. We went crack mode today. That's right.
We did. I learned about cracked mode.
them. Crack mode, yeah. Sweaty. Don't be a sweaty.
Okay, there's that. All right, let's do this.
I need the music.
Yep, I'm getting it. That's next. That is what I was forgetting. The routing. I knew that was like, because I turned off the routing for the show today. And I need to turn it back.
yeah,
you guys should hear this now, right? You guys hear the Godzilla or God camera?
Yeah.
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 The good routing. You gotta get that.
Let's
nice
make sure that's
routing.
all turned up for everybody.
There you go.
Yep, that's
Hell
good.
Yeah, love this shit.
All right.
All right.
I'll do that
You're
next
gonna do-
time.
you're
I'll do
gonna-
that next time. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Let's do it.
For the podcast. All right. Let's do this shit.
I'm gonna move this somewhere where I can't see it.
Do you tweet it?
Yeah, I did tweet.
I'm kidding. Oh, you did.
Let's bring up the camera. There we go. All right, Mike. If I bring us in, you ready?
Mike, you ready?
All right.
We are starting in. Oh, hey, where did my shit go? There it is. Okay, starting in 5, 4, 3. The internet, you're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world of video games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb, and with me is
Mike Minotti.
in today's episode, Nintendo hates Garry. Stellar Blade reviews are out, and the best games of 2020. We'll get to all of that and more. But first, Mike, how are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. I had a bunch of stuff to hang that I finally finished hanging. I got this replica electric umbrella sign behind me now. That is an old fast food restaurant in Epcot that I like that's not there anymore. My one brother got me a very nice replica of the sign, so that's fine.
All right, you guys talk about that. The electric eel or whatever. What's it called?
Umbrella.
Electric umbrella,
the electric
right.
umbrella. Yeah. So it was just a burger place. It was nothing special, but I thought it was neat, and I like the name Electric Umbrella.
It's a good name. It's Electric Umbrella. What are they going for with Electric Umbrella? Do you understand it?
Oh, just futurism.
Okay.
Just, everything's electric in the future. A lot of neon lights and stuff like that. That's it. It was in future world.
Oh, that's cute and cool. I like it. I mean, it was a long day for me, and I'm feeling it right now. But it's not like a totally bad way. I'm like, oh yeah, that was a full day, nonstop.
Yeah.
And then get done with work, and that was still nonstop. But happy to be here, ready to talk about some more video games and all that.
It could have been a long day for me because I had to get up very early for a appointment, a dental thing. I have a front tooth that was chipped when I was a kid. I think I told you about this. And there's been like on and off issues. And I had some new specialists look at it today, and they want to do another root canal on it next week. But I had to get up very early for that. When I got back, I was just tired and didn't feel great. I was like, I'm just gonna actually go lay down for a bit. So I'm fine. That's why I missed so much of your excitement today. I just haven't seen too much of what you guys did. I caught like the end of voicemail dump truck, but so I was like, well, you guys were playing with Dib, you did a grab bag, all sorts of stuff today.
Yeah, and we even cut the grab bag a little bit short, but we still kind of went for a bit and got into quite a bit of another crab's treasure. The crab gets a gun. Well, you can get a gun, but from the accessibility options, there's just a button you can click.
I remember seeing that back at Summer Game Fest last year. I think when they were showing it, they were all very excited to show people the gun. Yeah,
it's a good idea. It's maybe one of the best accessibility settings. It probably will win an award from Giant Bomb. We'll probably make a category just for that, so we can give it an award.
We have a big crab era right now, huh?
You might have the crabs era. I don't know. I'm fine.
Wow! Oh my god.
Yeah. What's the other crab stuff?
Crab people, Jeff.
Oh shit, that's Super Dan 64. That was yesterday, man. That's old
That was
news.
yesterday.
That's old news, dude. I
That
moved
was 4
on.
hours of our lives yesterday. Jeff, what do you mean?
That's forever
How
ago.
can
I
you
don't know what you're
forget?
talking about, man.
People are asking
Live
for
in
the
the
Crabs
now.
Control the Laser shirt, and I think we need to make it happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have the power to make that happen. I just haven't like gone into the UI of the Shopify or whatever and really done much with that. But
Yeah.
I'm feeling moved. I might just do it. I
I'll
might put the
have to
shirt up
harass
for
you
like
until you do.
I might put the shirt up for like a week or something like that. It'll be a special limited thing or something.
I think it should be the new marquee shirt, personally, but well, whatever.
I feel like it's of a time, but we'll see. Maybe we get our own version of the Yeti.
You forgot about it already.
Well, everyone's as forgetful as me is what I believe.
Yeah, sure.
All right, we should get into this. I want to thank everybody for joining us. You can get more from Mike and me by joining patreon.com/GameMess. Give us a good rating wherever you are listening and hit that like button on YouTube, please. It helps people find the show. If you want to ask a question, you could drop a super chat during the show here on YouTube. We'll answer all of those before the end of the program. Thank you to Carlos Ayin, who is Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube for the use of our theme songs. Thanks to One Up vs. CPU for our artwork. You can find more of them over at oneupvscpu.com. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever pods are caught. Thank you to the mods, and support us by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That gets you access to our Discord server, the monthly Q&A, participation in our monthly Game Club discussions, 1 month early access to new episodes of Game Mess Jeopardy and Columbros, and 1 month, I'm just about to read that again, and of course, all of our shows ad-free. Little bit of housekeeping. You might have noticed it was changed up there at the top. Going forward, the Discord server is now going to be supporter only. This is just something we need to do to like kind of keep things a little bit more sane. As you may have noticed, there's bots, trolls, etc. People have been showing up. A lot of people have been showing up lately, and we decided the best way to like keep the community safe is to close things a little bit. This is a big part of that. Is just we look at the Discord. Most of the conversation is still happening between the people who are already Patreon members. So this doesn't feel like it's going to be too drastic of a change. But if it feels that way, it is still like it's for us, and it's to keep us and keep things simpler for us. That said, if you are listening and you are a Discord member, but you have not supported so you can't get in other ways, we have a bunch of ways to make sure you become a supporter. The Patreon, of course, YouTube membership, Twitch memberships. So if you use like Amazon Prime membership when Twitch or when Mike is streaming on Twitch, that gets you in as well. There's a bunch of ways to get in, but otherwise we're probably going to just try to keep things a little bit more enclosed going forward. So thank you to everyone who has joined so far. Absolutely. All right, Mike, I got a bunch of topics I want to talk about from this past week. You ready to get into it?
Yeah, Jeff, move me like a wagon wheel. Rock me.
All right. Let's go here. Stellar Blade reviews were in. It landed at, I think, an 84 on OpenCritic and an 82 on Metacritic, I think is where it when I last looked.
When I looked, it was 82 on Metacritic. So I think it's funny. I forget if we said this when we were actually online, but I know offline we were saying it's probably going to land around where Lies of P did, which is like an 80 or 82.
We had that conversation after the show last week or earlier this week, I think, after Nintendogs, and we were all like, yeah, that sounds about right.
To be fair, I think it was Sean who literally said he expects an 82. So.
He did say, yes. You did
as someone who's doing review coverage for it, I'm like, this feels like an 82 is where this is going to land. So
good job,
guess
Josh.
who called it?
Yes, you nailed it. And then once you started saying that, I'm like, what did Liza P do? And you were like, that's right where Liza P was. I'm like, okay, then that's what I think as well, 100%. So yeah, you nailed that, Sean. And then Mike, I do think you also nailed it in our guessing game. I think based on the numbers, I think
you said 82 in Wolf's game.
But wait, isn't Wolf doing OpenCritic now? No.
Oh, that's
right. He's doing OpenCritic.
You still win though.
You still get the points because I don't think I'm an 80.
I want special points though.
But I think I won the other game, and I already forgot what the game that was. So, okay, so hey, right where we were kind of expecting based on playing the game a little bit, seeing the game, and it seems like most people say the same thing in the reviews for the most part. Very fun to play. They kind of nailed the action. Everything else is a little lackluster. And I'm like, oh, that sounds fine to me. I'm ready to play a fun action game, and I have been playing it a little bit. I've not had a chance to play it the last couple of nights, but I enjoyed what I played so far. I think it is a good action game. I think it's going to be right there with other character action games. I don't think it's going to be replacing, Bayonetta 2 for me or Sekiro or anything like that. I was never expecting it to. I think I was expecting it to land right here, and the fact that it was able to meet those expectations is a very, very good sign to me. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, it looks like they made a good game. I probably do want to try it out at some point. It's been a little bit of a hot second since I played a newer character action game. So why the heck not?
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing where this is a game where they can like build on what they've done in this first game. That's like a really strong introduction. And if they want to make a Stellar Blade 2, which this, everyone says, seems the game is set up to introduce a sequel in a pretty heavy way. I would imagine they would do so. I bet it's going to sell way better than they expected. So yeah, a second game following this up, building on everything in a decent way. It's going to be good. Are you someone who's going to be like a little bummed out that it's like trying to be Nier Automata and doesn't have the decent like storytelling? Apparently has very good music, so it's got that side of things. But are you going to be upset that it's just like a good action game?
I don't know. I mean, I never expected it to do that stuff as well as Nier Automata. That's kind of the problem with aping that stuff as much. It's and that's one thing. Like, hey, Liza P wants to be Bloodborne. I know there's some like from Software sickos who really love like that kind of lore and whatnot, but that story is all very kind of background in there, right? Whereas in a Nier Automata, it's very foreground, all of that stuff. So you would all have a pretty hard time matching that with sort of an early effort like this, right?
Yep.
So I just don't have that expectation going into it.
Yeah, I think for me, like this is a game that if it was on Steam Deck, if I could be playing on there, I would 100% be playing it. I'll probably stream it to the Steam Deck, try to see if I can play a little bit more of it. But when I have a little bit of time to sit down on the chair and the TV over here and play some games, it is what I'll turn on. I just don't have a ton of time for that right now. And it's not one of the games that I'm going to 100% like make time for. But when I have that time, I'll take it for that.
Right,
yeah.
That's kind of my takeaway. Like, this game, maybe I probably will want to play. It doesn't seem urgent or anything like that. Kind of like how I felt with Liza P. And
Same.
And that one was, Liza P was Game Pass, so it was very easy to check that out right away anyways. I forget if this is like PlayStation Plus or something or another, right?
Yep.
I know Sony's involved. I don't know exactly how easily it is to access it.
Yeah, so Sony is publishing the game, I believe. I think that's right. But they it's not like in PlayStation Plus or anything like that. But yeah, I think this game is probably gonna end up on PC in about a year or so, maybe
Sure.
maybe a little bit longer. And those things range. A lot of PlayStation first party games are 3 years. But it feels like these games that are like, yeah, they're first party, but it's a partner studio. Sometimes they come a little bit quicker. So we'll see. That said, I still will be playing it when I get some time. The 1,000 Year Doors previews went live earlier this morning. Mike, you and I were both in there. You got to stay a little bit longer.
Previews. Some people I think got to play, but we kind of had
some people did get to play. I had a hands-off preview. You did too. So okay.
Yeah, I think some people had some kind of hands-on thing at least.
I wonder if that's just like in New York or LA or something like that.
Yeah.
But yes, that it was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down with this preview, gonna see what they're gonna say, and they basically talked about what Mario or Paper Mario: The 1,000 Year Door was as a video game, and I'm like, oh yeah, I played this before, guys. I know all this. So it was like a little bit.
Sure.
I was a little bit like lost there for a second. Like, okay, when are we gonna get like what's new? And they did talk about a few things that were new. There's a badge in there that could play the GameCube music. And so you can
because we have new music.
There is new music, right? There's a character called the Battle Master, I think, in Toadsport, who can teach you more about how to like get the most out of the combat system and all the other stuff.
Yeah, there's some other neat things there. Like you could instantly swap party members, which I don't think you could in the original game. So that's really nice. And like the newer Paper Mario games, you can kind of swing your hammer in more directions, like up and down, not just left and right. So that makes certain things easier. It was really impressive. I think the big thing is, and what excites me is that this is more of a graphical update than I was expecting. It is looking
it looks really nice,
very snappy. At least in terms of like the actual graphics and the fidelity.
Yeah, it in the Zoom call where they were previewing it, they made it. It looked very smooth to the point where I'm like, maybe this is 60. And it's you asked about that while I was gone getting my kid from the bus. Now, I know you can't like quote them exactly or anything like that, but like just kind of what was the vibe they gave you?
So, and I was a little bit with you. It was like when I was looking, I was like, this looks pretty good. I don't think it's 60. It looks fine-ish. But,
I couldn't tell if it was, I thought it might have been because like the Zoom call's probably eating up something here, and it looks smooth enough to me. So I'm like, I don't know.
But and I asked, and look, this is these previews are run by the marketing people. It's not like we're talking to developers, but I just said, hey, is this 30 or 60? And I kind of got a long-winded answer, like, well, this there are some things that are different, so the game might feel a little different to some people. Which to me was like, okay, so it's 30, even though they didn't really say that.
Well,
so it's not.
And you saw the trailer
gospel
today, right? Did you watch
right,
it?
And that's at 30.
That was uploaded without a 60 frames per second option. It's you see the 1080p 60. It was just 1080p on YouTube, which to me is basically a confirmation that it's, if not always running at 30, most of the time running at 30 frames per second. That said, the way it looks in that trailer, the way it looked in the Zoom call, I'm like, it looks pretty smooth. In terms of like how it appears to me, I think I'm okay. I do just have some concerns about the timing of hits in battle, but that is something you can also get used to. So I don't know. I just want to play it for myself and judge at that point. At this point, I'm like, I have my concerns, but they probably won't be that big of a deal.
Yeah, I think that's where I am. Like I was pretty upset about this early on. But yeah, looking at that preview, looking at the video, I'm like, okay, like this looks fine, honestly. The only concern now is the timing stuff. And they can do things like have like inputs be read at 60 FPS, even if the game's not running at that. I don't know if they're going to do that. And I don't know, maybe like when I play it actually won't even be an issue anyways. But it is still a concern in what is otherwise looking like a very good project. Otherwise, I am very excited about this pretty much every angle.
Yep, I feel like they nailed what they were going for. In chat they're like, oh yeah, the Origami King was 30 frames per second, and that felt pretty good. Yeah, I didn't have any trouble with the timing in that game. I didn't think that game had a great combat system, but I was never.
I bet it won't be an issue.
I bet it won't be an issue in the end, and I won't be surprised if they basically just used what they did for Origami King here. So that's why we kind of ended up with this.
And again, when I was really upset, like I was like, that's bullshit that we're having a GameCube game that was at 60 and now it's at 30 on Switch. And I still stand by that a bit, but this is more of a remake than I was expecting. It does look noticeably better. So, I just want to be excited about this game. I love the 1,000-Year Door. I'm not going to let this like be some kind of weird rain cloud hanging over me and the whole thing now.
Right. I mean, what's the worst that can happen right now? We get excited and we get disappointed. It's like, okay, oh well, then we can always go back to the original and play that game. No one's taking that away. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to get my hopes up that this is going to be a really nice, not swan song for the Switch, but something very close to the end. The last game that we know of.
It could be one of the last big games. Might be the biggest game on the Switch this year.
Good point. It could be. And like, I want to have good memories of the Switch at the very end here. And I don't want to be kind of shitty about it. So, hey, if it still bothers people, I don't blame them. If it's like, if this is indicative of like, what's annoying about these remakes, especially things that come from GameCube that did run at 60 frames per second, I'm with you as well. But in this particular case, I'm going to be like, okay, moving that aside, I'm excited about this game.
It's clearly not as bad as Tales of Symphonia, which was, a 60 FPS game on GameCube. Then they did a bad remaster of it, which barely did much to make the game look any better.
They did a bad remaster of the PS3 game, right?
Right.
Or PS2 game.
Well, the PS2, which was then the Wii version. Right, exactly. Right. So like that being at 30 frames per second was completely unacceptable. Whereas here, I guess maybe I can see. And again, when you're looking at the trailer, and you can look at the comments for it. Nobody in like the comments, at least that I saw, are like, "Whoa, this looks like it's real sluggish." No one's really seeing that.
It doesn't look like that. I think a part of that is they built the game around this. I think this was the scope from the beginning. So the animations are all built to look good at this frame rate. Whereas, like, obviously in a shooter game, you're strafing side to side. The whole world can become a slideshow. Or feel like a slideshow, to me at least. That was not happening in this trailer. Maybe we'll see. We'll get the final game. Maybe there will be.
There are times where it does like it's like 30 FPS is borderline repulsive to me. Like I could not stand playing even Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the 30 FPS mode, and other people prefer that, right? So it's just like the difference of perspective. Or we all have different eyes and brains and all that stuff. Usually, I am very sensitive to it. It didn't seem bad here. We'll see. I'll play the game, then I'll see how I feel about it. But I'm excited for 1,000-Year Door.
Sticking with Nintendo, apparently Nintendo has started issuing takedown notices for many of the mods and assets that are on the Steam Workshop that use Nintendo IP for the fun sandbox game Garry's mod. This is something that people have been they've been uploading content based on Nintendo to the Steam Workshop for a very long time. Some of these assets are around 20 years old. And the people responsible for Garry's mod, Garry himself took to Twitter, said this is confirmed. Nintendo is sending these takedown notices. Let's start with with why do you think this is happening? Do you think Nintendo is? I speculate on Game of Mornings this morning, Mike, that it was lawyers at Nintendo of America just finding their next project to work on, being like, okay, we did the emulator thing. I still get paid every day. I got to be finding something to keep myself busy. Let's just get to that. I still think it's probably that. I guess I wouldn't be shocked if it's like, well, Nintendo has this idea of user generated content future, and so we got to we have to salt the earth. Yeah, it's probably not that. It's probably a bored lawyer, right?
No, I don't think there's any way this is hitting at the future of Nintendo in any way.
Probably
no,
not.
I think you're right. They have a bunch of lawyers that work there. There's not a whole lot for them to do right now because, there's not a lot of legalese to do about new projects or even the Switch 2 at this point.
Right.
So yeah, they're just looking for something to do. That seems likely to me. And this is pretty stupid. Garry's mod is so
sucks. Completely
completely harmless. Just freaking leave it alone. But no, they're gonna go in there and stir shit up.
Yep. I think this stinks. It is. I think the people who say like free advertising are right. I think when Nintendo stuff pops up, it's something like a Garry's mod. It does almost zero measurable harm to Nintendo and probably only helps them.
We were saying that about like Samus being in Fortnite. Like, okay, so people who play on PlayStation 5 are gonna see Samus. Like, how is that a bad thing? Except that it like weirds out some 70-year-old CEO or whatever at Nintendo. I don't know.
Yeah. I think the other side of this for me is always, I'm surprised it worked this way in the first place. I am like, when I think of mods, I'm like, yeah, mod, you can do with anything with mods. I'm a big fan of mods. I like them. But my expectation is when you want a mod, you got to go find it. You got to go look on the, you want to find the real shit. I mean, yeah, Bethesda.net, that like launcher you can use to like launch mods on the Xbox version of like Skyrim and Fallout and all that stuff. That's really cool. But they like have that policed hard. There is no copyright infringement on there. They won't let the ones that like use real songs or have like Star Wars conversion mods. Like that stuff isn't on there because they don't own that stuff and they just block it outright. I assumed a little bit that like Steam was doing that to a certain extent. That's why I never would really use a Steam Workshop for the most part. I would use it a little bit with Skyrim and then like, okay, well, there's one mod not on here. I'm going to go over to the Vortex and use that thing or just install it myself. All these mods apparently still exist online in other places. So you're still going to be able to install these things. They just won't be on the Steam Workshop. I asked around. That's my understanding. If that's not right, then that really stinks. If these things are just being scraped from the internet for good, I really hate this. But if this is just Nintendo saying, hey, Steam, you have to stop distributing these things, like, of course they are. I thought we all understood that we shouldn't be doing that in the first place. You got to like be brave, go find it on the internet yourself and install it, into the folder like a big boy. I'm like, this doesn't really affect me all that much when I really think about it. But I don't know. Does that sound right to you?
Sure, I'm not the biggest mod guy in the world anyway, so I had no idea how it works for a Garry's mod, to be honest. I think I loaded up Garry's mod one time and I shot a gun and a Gordon Freeman showed up and I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, this happens all the time with the tabletop simulator where
Right.
like people make tabletops games all the time. And then like a company that owns certain tabletop is like, hey, Steam, you can't do that. So they take that one down, but they left like the other like thousands up. So it happens all the time.
I do know of Lorcana, there's like that one like digital card game thing, but it's not like you can like open it up and then from with there load the Lorcana packs. You have to like go and like find the zip files yourself that has all the Lorcana art and effects on it to load into that.
Yes.
So there's my frame of reference.
And it's the exact same thing. It's downloading RetroArch. Yeah. Where do I get the ROMs? Oh, we can't tell you. Like it's that sort of thing.
Sure.
In every YouTube video about that being like, oh, it's impossible to find. Google doesn't exist. It's like everyone winks and nods. And as long as you do that, as long as you shut the fuck up Friday, like everything else is chill, and we can all keep getting away with this. But once you start being like, we're going to use the Steam commercial platform, it's like that is crossing a line that I thought we all understood. So like, why even do it in the first place? And the reason is because they got away with it for so long. People just figured it's fine at a certain point. And Steam only stops people, it seems like, when they do get a DMCA claim, which is, they're right. They're allowed to operate that way. That's the way the DMCA rules are written. That's how YouTube works, right? You can upload a movie and it'll be on there until someone does something, unless it's on Content ID, which is also actively an active thing. You have to like, here's my content, please ID it for me. So Yeah, I think this sucks. I think this is indicative of Nintendo being a curmudgeon and being kind of a stick in the mud about this stuff. I also don't think it's that big a deal. All right. Finally, just this little thing here. I talked about this, I think, with Emron yesterday. Maybe it was with Jan today. Capcom raised their earnings expectations. They were all Capcom. Yeah, it was today. Capcom was already one of the fastest growing companies in Japan, and now they're expecting to grow even faster. This is, I mean, everything's going Capcom's way, right?
Yeah, and that is the benefit where you get to a point where you release so many quality games that suddenly just you yourself become a brand. It's something that Nintendo has been able to enjoy for a long time. It happens to very few other companies. It happened to From Software, for example, and that's a great position to be in. It's probably going to happen to, say, Larian Studios now, but it's happened to Capcom now. Like Dragon's Dogma 2, right? Dragon's Dogma 1 was such a kind of low-key thing that people liked. It was kind of a hidden gem. The fact that Dragon's Dogma 2 can exceed expectations, right, and help them raise their forecasts. Like, everything's going great over there. Like, when they have a misfire, it's something like Exo Primal, which is still like, whatever. That was fun. It's no big deal. No one's mad about that. Yeah, it's a good game, right? No one cares. So, yeah. It's a Capcom world right now.
Yep, they kind of the Midas touch a little bit. It's and that's not like luck. It is like they've crafted a certain way of making games, and obviously they have their artistic side of like here's our vision for how we're going to make games. And then they have their technical side of here's the engine that we're going to do it all in. And both are working hand in hand and both are like at the top of their game and everything's benefiting. It does feel like the growth is going to continue to be the thing that every other company's looking over and being jealous of. And I think every other company's going to be like, man, we could have had that. Because I don't think Capcom's doing anything that's like that strange or that different. I think the big thing is the Reach for the Moon engine, the RE engine, sure. But like Capcom had Fox Engine, if they would have stuck with that and kept updating it, maybe I don't really fully understand that. Maybe it had so much technical debt they couldn't have done that. I don't fully know. But it's like, there was a world in which they were building an engine and then they stopped. And because they were like, well, we're not going to invest in these games anymore. What was that?
Sorry, you said Capcom had the Fox Engine. That's
Konami, thank you.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty easy to see that world where they didn't piss off Kojima and they released PT. And they had more follow-ups to Metal Gear and other things using that engine. And, they were able to massage Silent Hill to be in a Capcom status way earlier so that it's already there now. And then Metal Gear keeps doing things and maybe you could have actually done something with Contra, right? Because, Capcom has these legacy franchises that it's doing stuff with. It has so many more that it can always go back to and bring back also, like a Mega Man, all these other things. Yeah, they're just in a fantastic spot. I'm always just excited to see what's happening next. I was even thinking today, I wonder when they're going to announce the next Resident Evil. I was listening to Bullet in the Blade on Spotify a ton. I was like, I like that game. I hope we get another Resident Evil soon. Those are very good.
Resident Evil 4 Remake came out early last year, right?
Yeah, about this time last year, just about actually, I think maybe a little earlier. It's about a year old now. So, and we know they have that action game coming out that I can't remember the name of.
Kinetsugami,
Path of the Goddess. Yes,
right. And they announced a new Monster Hunter, so we have a little bit of an idea of what's coming next-ish. That new Devil May Cry probably bits away because that was the Dragon's Dogma 2 team.
Right.
Although I imagine that's what they will be working on next.
I think so too, yeah.
They might be doing a little Dragon's Dogma DLC or something or another.
Street Fighter Season 2?
Yep. Yeah, they're full. They're all in on Street Fighter. Yep.
Yeah, Street Fighter is going to continue to get content, and then
Darkstalker's going to continue being dead.
Well, that's what I wonder is are they going to expand now? Because that's the thing about growth. Growth is great. Are you going to get more growth now? Are they going to maybe try to spin up some more studios, or are they really going to try to push to get a new Versus game happening, or bring back a Darkstalkers, do something with Mega Man, do more? I guess I'm curious to see what the next step is.
I think they probably do get a little big in their britches and say, you know what, let's do Mega Man. Let's make Mega Man our next big sort of project here. Not project like our next video game project, our next renovation project. Let's really make it as big as possible. But then they probably are going to reach a little bit of a wall, right? Because I think what you're saying, do they have to expand to make new studios? Because I think what they've done now is you take the Devil May Cry studio, let them go back to Dragon's Dogma, and that is a franchise that could be that much bigger. It is. They've done that now, and okay, that they've sort of reached their limit here, or reached their potential.
We'll kind of see with Bethesda. You can have a studio work on maybe 2 giant AAA franchises. 3 is asking a lot these days.
Right. That's like not an option, right? So it's like they're doing what they can. Seems like they've tapped out like the potential for Resident Evil. Now, they will keep making Resident Evils, but it's like, is there like a third, fourth, tier echelon of Resident Evil that could be happening simultaneously? Probably not. They have the occasional multiplayer side game that they put out, and that seems to be like them reaching as far as they can reach.
Yeah,
so they're going to reach a wall soon, I think.
Yeah, like Resident Evil's in a very good spot, but you can't exactly saturate it more. You have this great thing going on with remakes, new game, remake, new game. You can continue to do that for a bit. It's like the old days where we can make another light gun game or something to like fill things out. I don't want to get myself worked up, but gosh, it would just make so much sense to me. You have a little extra capital now. You are looking for ways to grow, and people do still like Mega Man. Like, let's take an actual big swing there.
Dino Crisis. Sorry, Mike, it's Dino Crisis time.
Hey, look, that'd be neat too. Although I'm still a little confused where all these Dino Crisis fans came from. Bring it up every time. But sure, hey, I would not complain about more Dino Crisis. That'd be neat. But again, yeah,
I think the good news. Go ahead.
It would be on top 5 of my like Capcom franchises. I went back. I would, give me Demon's Crest and Power Stone and some other things first. But sure, do Dino Crisis, whatever.
I think the good news for Capcom as it stands right now is the fundamental strategy of continuing to invest in these franchises that have worked in the past and continue to find new fans are going to keep finding new fans. Resident Evil's big. It keeps getting bigger. Monster Hunter is big. It keeps getting bigger. And I think that is, at a certain point, a sort of a self-feeding loop of people get excited because their friends are excited, so they come to check in on the next game. And you make the next game that much bigger, that much more accessible. That's clearly what they're doing with Monster Hunter over and over again now. I think that there's still like growth within what they're doing still yet to be untapped. It's just like they are going to begin looking for new opportunities, and that's going to be tough to pull off, I think. That's all.
I see some people chat saying, kids don't like Mega Man. Well, they haven't made a Mega Man game since 2018, so like most of the kids weren't alive. Look, Mega Man is a cartoon character. If you make a good Mega Man game, it is going to appeal to kids. That can't happen. I mean, that's why I liked Mega Man so much, because I was a very young kid. He's an appealing looking, fun, cute character. And it'll take care of itself.
And the kids are often wrong. I know it all the time. I'm a grown man.
Yeah, if they don't like Mega Man, fuck them.
I know better than them. That does it for the big stuff this week. Oh, go ahead. What was that?
Oh, sorry. I was saying, imagine if they do the game in like a cartoon, it will blow the fuck up. Like a Mega Man.
Yeah, imagine if they had a Mega Man game that kind of looked like Hi-Fi Rush. Jesus Christ.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah.
Gotta be good.
A big swing. I think they should take a big swing with Mega Man next. I really think that's what they should do.
If you want to do like the safe swing and make a new Mega Man X or something also, of course, sure, do that too. There's probably 10 studios that have made good Mega Man likes that you can go and throw some money to and just have that happen while you're doing the big Mega Man thing.
I do appreciate Dominic Malta reminding us about Pragmata in chat. Capcom always needs to have one of those as well. There was always a Deep Down. There's always a Pragmata. There's always one of these games that's been announced for forever that just hangs in the background.
How fucking dare you? First you say Darkstalkers are going to continue to be dead. Now you're shitting on my dreams of Pragmata.
What? Okay. Are you being for shoot with this?
Yes.
Why? What is it? I completely forget about it. Other than it's like
Pragmata's their Capcom game that looks like it could have been a Kojima game.
Yeah,
right?
I know that, but what else is it? Why are you excited about it?
Because sci-fi is hell.
Okay. If that's it, if that's your heart, I'm with you. I get that. Okay.
You know what?
Thank you.
This smells like somebody who misses a lot of what's the Vanquish? This is like we need that type of game again.
We do need more Vanquishes though.
Speaking of the 360 era and Capcom, you see that Dark Void and the 8-bit.
I went to Steam to get them today.
Void,
yep.
They're getting delisted. I gotta buy those on
Steam. They're like
$5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might do that right now.
Yeah, you should just do it because I was afraid I was going to forget. So yeah, I think I need to buy them in case I ever lose my Steam account.
Dark Void and Dark Void Zero. Yeah, I'll get both of those right now. Yeah, they're on sale. Everyone buy Dark Void. Maybe we'll confuse them. Everybody really wants more Dark. No, we'll get Dark Void before Mega Man. I'll be like, what the fuck?
What do you think's happening there? Is there like some music? I mean, because I know they had. That music was like bought for that game. That was like work for hire. That has to be. I mean, I don't know.
No idea. Maybe they just because it does have mixed reviews on Steam. I don't know if it's a matter of like people don't really like this game. It like makes us look bad. I don't know. I can't imagine what it is.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's like starting to break down. It's hard to support it.
You know what Capcom definitely is probably going to announce soon is Ace Attorney 7. The next Ace Attorney is probably getting announced soon, and I will be happy.
I'm glad we live in a world where Ace Attorney and Professor Layton are still going. That new Professor Layton looks good.
Like Ace Attorney never even really went away. Like Layton's coming back.
Layton is
cool.
coming back. Yeah.
There's a new Layton. The Unwound. I forget what's called. Unwound Future. Was that a different one? There's a new Layton. It looks great, and we are definitely going to get a new Ace Attorney soon, and that will be awesome. I bet.
Cool. Those are the big topics I wanted to talk about. We have been getting some super chats. Let's see what those kids want to talk about. Let's do that actually right after this break. Do that right after this.
All
right.
Break.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm good to get back into it.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Let's do it.
All right.
So rock me, Mikey, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, Mikey, any way you feel. Hey, Mike Minotti.
It's got to be quiet for me to bring it back.
I'm sorry,
because he needs a clean cut.
Really stuck in there. It's bad.
I want to say you put that in chat earlier today. I'm like, Mike, it doesn't work unless you're singing it. Your voice singing it is like half of it. It's like most of it actually. So,
okay.
Yeah. All right.
Good to know.
And we're back, and we got some super chats. Mike, you want to hit those for me?
Yes. Our Lincoln member, Daily Beating, says, thanks as always for the shows. Thank you, Daily Beating.
Thank you, Daily Beating. That's how we keep up morale around here.
That's right. Nintendo says, the Watch Dogs series is one of my favorite game series, so this week's news was rough. Any other unique open world GTA-like games you'd recommend? So yeah, seems like Watch Dogs is not coming back. Also seemed like, you run your polls on Game this morning. It's not the most scientific thing in the world, of course, but the fact that only 25% were like, yeah, I want a new Watch Dogs. That's pretty low.
It's pretty low. I think I do think that's the explanation, even though you're absolutely right. Not scientific. If you haven't played Sleeping Dogs, play Sleeping Dogs. I played quite a bit of that, and I thought that was pretty good. I think, though, so many games are kind of becoming open world, and they're not trying to be GTA.
Yeah. Well, no one can afford to make a GTA clone anymore. Right. If that new Mafia happens, that'll be as close as you're probably going to get, but that's probably a good ways away.
Right. So I think just to fully embrace, RPGs, be happy to go play Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I think that's a decent game that's like, hey, this is an open world with a lot of stuff going on. It's not exactly like that, but it's close enough.
Maybe when the Crazy Taxi comes out, it'll be a bit like that.
That's one of those, what do they call it? The Ultimate Games? I can't remember, but yeah.
I'm the weirdo who liked Watch Dogs 1 fine. Watch Dogs 2 is good and probably better. But
you also really like Assassin's Creed 1, right?
Yeah, I do like these ones that people are always like, even Sonic 1. I like these ones that people are like, these ones are rough, and then the sequel makes it better. I kind of like the roughness sometimes, and Watch Dogs 2 is better, but a lot of it was better because it just started being sillier, which I get that's going to be more popular. And maybe Watch Dogs 1 did take itself too seriously, but there's something to that. Not everything's got to be like, it's we got jokes. Although I did like that character who had the LED face. He was nice.
Yeah, I thought Legion was a bunch of interesting ideas, and none of it really came together in any really fun ways. So yeah, too bad.
Yeah, Legion just clearly didn't work out.
Yep.
All right, Ali Miracle says, we're all Skibbity in Miyamoto's world. Okay, what's Skibbity?
Skibbity, I think, is just, it's bad or evil. Yes. Evil. And Skibbity Toilet, I do think this comes back from Skibbity Toilet, because I think there's a song where the toilet sings, and it has Skibbity in the lyrics. And then I think the toilet is evil. It clearly is. There's like a 70, 80 part YouTube short series of the Skibbity toilet eventually turning into like a giant mech, blowing up cities. Don't worry, I'll make you watch the whole thing next time you're over.
Yeah, what was the movie that had the evil toilet? Was it Look Who's Talking To, or was it something else? There was an evil toilet in a movie.
Evil toilet scared the baby or something?
Yeah, it might have been Look Who's Talking To.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
Because he would have been old enough for potty training, so it couldn't be the first one. It had to be a sequel where Roseanne is the baby daughter, but not the one with the talking dogs. Look Who's Talking Now.
No, they were fine. Rocks. They love getting in that toilet. Skibbity is bad or evil. Ohio means cringe. Do you know that? The kids literally Dib said it today.
Yeah, that's oh well, yeah. Don't come here. It's so cringe. It's terrible. You'll
Yeah,
hate
like,
our affordable housing.
Yeah, I'm
Four
fine.
seasons.
It's mostly about like there were like apparently there was this period of time where there were like 4 or 5 videos that were really cringy, and every single one like took place in Ohio. So it just like caught on with the kids. Like, oh, that's so Ohio. Apparently,
something to be proud of.
Yes, and then Riz, of course, is the other one that they still say.
Wonder if even the Ohio kids were doing it. When I was in Ohio, like in high school, everybody had like stuck in Ohio license plate stickers or something. It was the cool edgy thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, listen, I didn't know what to say to that. I did not pretend. I was in Michigan, and we didn't think about Ohio that much.
Couldn't follow up. Yeah.
Well, I was like, all right, time for the next super chat.
Oh yeah, I have to read those actually. The Uncharted Wolf says, "Hi, has Mike or Sean played Pokemon Coliseum or XD? Recently checked them out, and they're pretty fun to go back to, even though they're slow. I have both of them for shoot over there, and I want to play them. For people who don't know, these are the GameCube games where, like Pokemon Stadium, you can import characters, but they also have single-player, like, story mode things that are pretty well liked. So I kind of fallen off playing GameCube on stream. I want to get back to it very, very soon, Jeff. I want to be playing, for so long. Like 15 months there, we did have that onslaught. And yeah, there's new games coming up. But like I said, like, like Stellar Blade's out, and a game with a crab who can have a gun but usually doesn't. Not good game still, but I don't feel like this insane pressure to keep up like I did for almost 14 months straight there or whatever for a while. It is kind of nice that things have finally slowed down a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, I think I think if it stays like this through the holidays, I'll be like, man, this is kind of a bummer. But right now, I'm like, I am welcoming it.
Right, like the fact that I was able for a week to just stream Treasure Planet on the PS2 was very nice. I liked it.
Keegan Jacobson says that Dolphin / GameCube is getting retro achievement support soon. For some reason, I don't give a shit about achievements or trophies, but retro achievements I really like.
They are better.
It's just better. And they also like keep track of speedrunning stuff, like right on the Steam Deck. It's so cool.
Cody Bishop says, any plan on covering Sandland on Giant Bomb?
Maybe. I think we did play it at some point in like one of the demos. I think. If not, maybe I was just playing it and I was going to talk about it on a Bombcast or something like that. But I think we did like a little demo thing from the Steam Deck Fest. I didn't love the demo. But I'm like, I wonder if like that was missing maybe the main thrust of it.
So like, and this is also what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, there's still new games coming out and they're like good, but like Sandland has a 73 on Metacritic, whatever. But it is like, okay, I don't feel insane pressure to go and play Sandland right away.
Yeah.
The show was pretty good.
Oh, it is? I'm glad to hear that. Is that on, I think it's on Netflix or something like up here.
That's on something. I can't.
I
don't remember.
Maybe Hulu?
It's on Disney Plus here.
Oh,
so.
Disney. Maybe it is on. So it's either Hulu or Disney Plus here. There's plans. That was part of that was one of the games I was thinking about maybe playing for the grab bag today. We had so many that we were considering that it actually didn't make that cut. Well, maybe we'll do another one of those and give people a chance to vote if they want to see it.
El Grug says, Ride to Hell, Mortal Kombat Mythology said Superman 64 is an insane lineup of Blight Club games. How does Jeff feel about his next non-Dreamcast Blight game?
Not great, El Grug. Not great. Did you hear the...
I heard that you're peeking. You peeker.
I'm not peeking. Amazon failed. This is not my fault. They sent it in a clear plastic bag, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I didn't order a yellow shirt with a collar, and I'm like, it's Jeff Grubb Blight Club. Well, here's the good news. No idea what that could fucking mean.
That's what I realized. Like, he's not going to be able to make any sense of that.
No, am I playing a bad golf game? I don't know.
Oh gosh, I am so excited for that reveal on Wednesday. I want you to know, I looked for a Dreamcast game. There was like one possible one. I mean, I could just tell you now because it's not that. There was like a game based on The Ring that's supposed to be bad, the horror thing, but it's like, I don't know. It wasn't a very sexy Blight Club pick. Dan wasn't feeling it. Dan was saying early on, there's just not enough really bad Dreamcast games. I'm like, yeah, that's probably right. It's weird.
That stinks.
It's to be neat.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Next one here is from Super Blastex. I just got to work, so I haven't checked all of y'all's content yet. But have Dan or Grubb given their thoughts on the Ioneo flip? The flip. Yeah.
Ioneo flip.
Ioneo flip. That's way more syllables than I would have guessed. The Ioneo flip. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you.
Dan has it. I don't. He is checking it out, though. He keeps showing me all the cool things he's doing with it. I think it looks really interesting. It is, I think it's his first just straight up like Windows handheld. And so that like threw him off like for a second. And then he immediately was like, oh, you could do so much with this. And he has been. He's been playing stuff like A Link Between Worlds on it because it's the dual screen. So, and he also was like really happy with it because it's more compact. So he's like kind of thinking about taking to places where he wouldn't maybe have taken the Steam Deck. That said, I'm like interested to see how battery life is and all those things. But I think we'll get a chance to talk about it next time he's on the Bombcast for sure. But maybe we'll just do a video dedicated to it. I don't know. We'll see.
Salami Hillfinger says, I'm not asking you to confirm or deny, but I'm just saying this game name out loud, Trespasser. Love you all. Would that be Jurassic Park Trespasser, or is that something else?
Is it? I mean, I think there's a rumor.
Jurassic Park Trespasser was very old. That's not what the new game's called.
Yeah, there is a rumor that there's a new Trespasser game, but I don't know anything about a Trespasser game.
Was this the code name for the new Destiny, or am I completely making that up?
I'm gonna from Kotaku, Trespasser 2.
Oh, they're trying to guess a Blight Club game. That's what it is.
Oh.
Well, I'm not going to say yes or no, although for my confusion right now, you might have.
Hey, well, you're a very good actor. Could be like you're very expressive.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah. I have a lot of respect for you, Jeff.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Wow.
That's what we're doing. Big Fresh 37 says, you guys have heard this old Infogrames Rocks My World song, right? Been in my head ever since the news broke a few days ago. I have not heard that song, actually.
I heard people bring it up, but I didn't look it up myself. Yeah, it's definitely something that people have been like they're mind blown by. I think it was like a bit on Giant Bomb or something. So I was like, oh, we can't like redo that bit. So I think that's why I didn't even look it up.
Dark B Andy says, don't care what people say. I'm going to play Stellar Blade because if someone's Korean but can't speak his own language, best to support my culture diversity as Japanese games are overpopulated to other Asian devs. Yeah, good news is no one's going to say anything. I mean, I don't want to get into all of that stuff too much, except that, of course, the game actually coming out getting reviews has changed. Good reviews has changed absolutely nothing. The people who are still mad and have their axe to grind about the perceived unfairness this game is getting from critics are still real mad about other things, mostly imagined. So, of course, it's all very stupid. But yeah, go play Stellar Blade if you want to.
And play Stellar Blade because it's from South Korea. I think that's a great reason to play that game. Those developers have been doing great stuff for forever, and now they're like kind of putting out awesome games in the console space. That, to me, nothing but good news.
Bob Esme says, I want to get your thoughts on Tales of Kenzara. It is a lot more derivative of Ori than I expected, to the point that I think I might want to play Ori rather than this or the new game from Ori devs. Well, the new game from Ori devs is nothing like a Metroidvania.
Right.
I talked about that on the Bombcast. It's a top-down Souls-like game. It's in early access now. I've seen people say this, and maybe a segue get it. Otherwise, I don't get a ton of Ori specifically from Kenzara. I don't know. Do you?
I get more as the game went on. Definitely.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Then.
But I don't.
Because it has escape sequences apparently too, huh?
Yeah, it has several escape sequences, and that's when it was like really hitting me like, oh, this game was taking more from Ori than I realized. But it's not that derivative of Ori overall, and Ori is a Metroidvania. I mean, yeah, it's like doing a lot of cool new stuff there. But it's at its heart,
it's kind of a derivative genre. I mean, it's called Metroidvania.
That's right. And what we want from them is to be like Metroid or Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That's what we want. So I really don't. I don't feel good holding that against a game being like another game in the genre. That said, if you're not feeling Tales of Kenzara's out, I don't blame you. I think it's a good game that kind of borders on fine, closer to fine than great. And if the story does not win you over, then yeah, I can imagine, I could see you putting it down. No problem.
Crouching Boomer Hidden Zoomer says Capcom just needs to adapt the Proto Man rock opera. Man, I loved Proto Man when I discovered them, but that was like 13 years ago now. Like I saw them at the first PAX East, and their Act 2 album was out then. I don't think Act 3 has still come out yet.
Are they still like actively working on it?
I think they like made one and scrapped it, and then some people have left, and and all this stuff. I think it's a little bit like the last Song of Earth and Fire, or the next Song of Earth and Fire, Ice and Fire book, right? It's kind of like, yeah, they're working on it, probably, I guess. I don't think we're ever going to see it, but they're working on it.
Yeah.
Like, they released a single or two that's supposed to be from it. Like, one came out in 2022, but there's no album, and I don't know if there ever will be.
Fair enough.
It's it's too bad. Next one here is from Mikey O'Leary. It says, I don't know. Let's all get together for juice boxes and a double feature of Heavyweights and Camp Nowhere. I've never seen Camp Nowhere, but Heavyweights is one of the best movies ever.
No.
Yes, absolutely.
No.
So good.
I won't accept it until you watch Goonies. Like, Heavyweights is great, and the Goonies stink. Goonies is a fantastic movie.
I never said Goonies stinks. I just said it wasn't like my thing.
Oh, that's correct. You said I have the Goonies stink.
Yeah, you have the stink of a Goonies fan, is what I said.
That's right. That is correct. I think Heavyweights is pretty good. That is a movie I like quite a bit.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah. I still quote what's his face's character from that Ben Stiller is so good. He's basically doing a proto version of his character from Dodgeball.
Yes.
And that it's so funny. Oh god! At the end of the movie, where like the kids show like their like film of how terrible camp was, and they thought that they like had locked him up, but he's like hanging in the raptor's head. He's doing the slow cap. He's like, "Oh, what a film! The editing technique, the cinematography." And he does like a triple backflip on the floor. He's like, "I thought the part of the villain was a little over the top." Oh my god, is it good? I love that movie. The next one here is
wait, real quick. Is Camp Nowhere the one with the guy from Home Alone?
I don't know a thing about Camp Nowhere, actually. I don't know nothing about that. Is it? I would have thought of Ernest Goes to Camp as the next one.
Oh no, it's the one with Christopher Lloyd, I think. Okay.
Oh really? Oh, I'd probably like that a lot then. I like Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, that looks like
know, I see this box art. I'm like, man, I remember this from like Blockbuster, seeing the box art of it.
Right, and I was thinking of Bushwhacked. You know what? I'm gonna watch all three. Just decided. That sounds like a great time. That's like I just got that outside like patio thing set up. I'm gonna see if I can get like a little computer set up in there. I'll just watch all three outside this summer.
That was an interesting genre for a while. They're camp movies. Like we had like these, and Ernest Goes to Camp. We had Camp Krusty on The Simpsons. Do kids go to camp anymore? I went to camp.
Dib goes to summer camp. I don't think he goes like overnight. He just goes to summer camp each day. Is that what you did?
Oh no, I was there for like a week.
Yes, I did summer camp with Boy Scouts. That's what I did, and I was there for like a week, maybe two.
Okay. I didn't like it.
I loved it. I loved it. It was so much fun.
No, I was not a fan. I thought it was kind of dirty and gross. The camp counselor stole my or he kept taking my Calvin and Hobbes books. I was stuck with my Magic School Bus book instead. Sludge Reinhold says, hello, Jeff, tier 2 reliable source as determined by the community of our gaming leaks and rumors Grubb, and Mike, why milk minority? Wow. Hope you're all having good evenings. That is all. Thank you, Sludge. You too. Hope
Thanks, Sludge Reinhold.
You're in Italian.
Still a very good name.
Burrito says, hey, guys, here's a tip for the latest Blight Club. Wanted Dan to have a bit of a terrible time. It was not disappointed. I am satisfied.
I think everyone should be satisfied. But
yes. Look, whatever Dan had coming to him, he got it.
He got it. He has paid the blood price.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. And he's got freaking Drake of the 99 Dragons and some Terminator game coming his way also. Yeah, he'll be miserable for a while. It is funny how bit it goes. Like, man, Dan's been getting it so easy. He's just played one game, blah, blah, blah. Then he like took time off to just like, he definitely played the worst game.
Oh
my
God.
I am so glad we made him play Superman 64 when we did.
Me too. That was perfect.
Big Fresh 37 says Greg Miller latched onto the Infogrames song because it's hilarious, but he didn't invent it. It's an Infogrames OG. Reportedly cost him $50,000.
That's right. It was Greg Miller. Okay. All right. Let's see if I have it here.
50,000.
You hear it?
Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play this whole thing. It's 3.5 minutes.
It fucking sounds like Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Give me more. A little bit more juice.
Unreal Tournament.
Oh, there we go.
Test drive.
I just heard Unreal Tournament and Test Drive.
Superman saves the nation. NSYNC Hotline. Dragon Ball. alone in the dark, and that's not all. Rocks my world, entertainment. Rocks my world, infogram.
Oh,
Fuck Rames.
programs.
Infogram.
Oh, shit.
It's just like an Epcot song. This is literally like the songs they played at Disney Parade.
It feels like a song written by AI today.
Innovation.
All right.
This is hard.
It does rock my world. There's plenty more
Oh
there.
my God.
We'll get more juice out of that stone here
Well,
eventually.
the last one's from Connor Woods said, "Play the infogram song. You won't regret it." Yeah, you were right.
Yep,
Connor.
I don't
You were
regret
right.
it.
Holy shit. Okay, well, that was fantastic. Man, the part where they were just saying the names of the video games they published and making them, that was the best part.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what? Right when you boosted it up, I immediately just heard Unreal Tournament.
Unreal
and started
Tournament.
laughing.
Yep, Unreal Tournament Test Drive. I said Civilization. There was an NSYNC game, I think.
Yeah, then it said Dragon Ball, and that's not all. Okay, that's good. That's good stuff. Very excited about that. Welcome back, Infogrames. Welcome
Yep,
back. That's why they brought it back.
The song is that powerful. Apparently, okay, so the song cost $50,000. God damn.
Not bad.
Worth every penny.
Worth
Yeah,
worth
if I
every
ran a
penny.
company, I'd pay $50,000 for that. That's nothing.
All right, we're done with super chats.
Don't
Deb,
super
you
chats.
wanna just jump right into the topic, or you wanna do a
No,
Oh.
let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
It's gotta set it up anyways. I gotta go
All right.
bathroom.
All right, perfect.
All right, we're on a break.
I'll be right back.
All right.
NSYNC Hotline, huh? I should do a thing where we have to play every game in the Infogram song.
Oh no. Oh no.
Genius idea.
Oh,
You're
God
such a
damn.
genius, bro.
Thank you.
Do
I
it.
thought so. Yes.
Jeff, you see that
Do
link
it.
I put in the
That's
chat
so
there?
Yeah. Okay. You want me to play this?
At 3:30.
All right. I'm just gonna go to 3:30 in the video I have. And you want me to wait for Mike to be back? I think.
It would probably be better. Probably
Okay.
be better. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Infograms. Oh my god, it's in my head now.
Oh, I know how to get out.
Oh.
Sucking on chili dogs.
Sucking on chili dogs. God damn, that was very good. I was waiting for a moment to play that during the stream today. 'Cause it's like we have very few that aren't Mike screaming about something that he's going to have
Some
sex
bodily
with, or bodily fluid, or pornographer. Like, and
I
then
beat it.
yeah, exactly, or beating it. Most of them are about beating it. And so it's like I had a couple, and that the skill issue is one of them. That one worked. That was very fun.
We're coming. Oh, you beat it.
I like that. This is so violent.
Oh,
We're
you
coming.
can mess with people.
Caw, caw.
Yes, I was thinking about doing that one.
Oh, you beat it.
I beat it.
So proud of himself.
Most people are beating it right now.
I give you shit.
We
this,
should-
this should be the podcast. Just this.
Yeah, rename all these to start with beat, so we can have the beat zone all in one place. So you just like
good
quickly
point.
hit one after the other.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, then, yeah. Listen.
I don't get paid enough for this.
I uploaded them in the first place. I'll just re-upload them.
Hey, yeah, you should just re-upload it, yeah.
Oh, you have to re-upload them. Oh, yeah, I could just favorite.
Nah,
them.
you can't like
guys-
reorganize
I'll
them.
just favorite them.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
you can,
that's
oh,
what
you can
want.
favorite them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can.
This is going to suck.
Xander Mobus cameo. Good to know.
That's
That was
good.
evil.
Enjoy your gaming.
Why did he yell?
He's just
Singing
singing.
about himself, you know, as he does.
Hello. I'm such
Yeah.
a stupid asshole. Whoa.
Whoa, Mike! Don't talk about yourself that way.
Jesus,
I
man.
don't even remember saying that.
Okay. All right. Oh.
Serenade him. Serenade Mikey.
All right.
All right. Oh.
What the fuck?
Oh.
Stop.
Not what I was expecting. All right.
Is that, oh, wrong thing. Is that what it should be at 3:30? Is that what you wanted?
Maybe a little after 3:30.
That was the very end of the song. So
Okay,
you
well,
know what?
that explains it. Go at 3:30.
no, yeah, but that was. Oh, I have a different link than you do. Okay, that explains it.
Yeah.
That's all right though.
Yeah.
At least not what matters.
Okay. 3:30.
There's NASCAR heat, Tonka Town. Stuntman makes my head spin around. Beachhead Trans World, Freddy 5. Unreal Tournament, Test Drive. Survivor Civilization. Superman saves the nation. NSYNC Hotline, Dragon Ball. Alone in the dark, and that's not all.
I'm having way too much fun with this.
I don't blame him. That's very good. All right. Okay. I think I didn't get anything set up. That's easy.
You didn't get the thing up.
We were playing with the soundboard. Shut up.
You know what I leave? I'm like, it's because you.
All right. Let's see.
Professionals here, people. Professionals.
Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel.
Ah.
All right. So you're framed up.
Some people got mad that I liked the one version of that song, not the other.
Yeah. Well, you're a bad person.
I guess so.
You're a horrible human being.
I mean, I liked the other one. I liked the one more, and I guess that was the wrong one to like more.
Yeah. Never have an opinion on the internet, Mike.
Yeah.
It's 2020 that we're doing, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir. Remember COVID?
No.
Oh, yeah.
That's the year. Bro, I know COVID. I was like, people
You're
were
best
like,
friends with COVID.
people was like, it's not that bad. I don't know, January is, I was like,
When did we start doing the game of the year thing?
95?
Like, what year did we start?
95 was the first year we did.
Oh,
you mean like our own? Yeah.
Yeah. What year did
we
we start?
We are coming up to a point where Jeff leaves Gabe's Beat and like we start just doing our own on this podcast, so we won't have to do this anymore. We're getting there.
Right.
All right.
Dang, we've been doing this for like 30 episodes.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Mike?
I'll save it. I'm saving it for the thing.
Okay. All right.
Breaking Bad.
Bring it back.
Yeah, let's bring it back in a couple seconds here. All right, we're back. Let's do this. This week, we are going to decide the best games of 2020. This is the beginning of the pandemic. I know a couple of games for sure because I associate it with the beginning of the pandemic.
Right.
But I think it was also a pretty good year for games overall. But I'm gonna have to take a look here and see what I can remember.
It is. It's also weird because like this is when the PS5 and Xbox Series X launched.
Okay, that's messed up when I think about it that way.
It's messed up. Yeah, because like I saw Demon Souls on here, which I don't think they're making it. Like I was like, what? No, that doesn't make sense. Demon Souls is a PS5 launch game. That's a new system.
Yeah.
It's not that new. It's not that new.
Yep. We're getting. Yeah, it's 2024. Okay. Mike, I'm going to let you start with this, just to let people know what we do here. If this is your first time listening to this, we go through, me and Mike, we offer up a bunch, and then we have to cut it down to a top 5. We do take some input from our podcast producers, but this list is me and Mike. We come up with this list, and we determine the order of everything. So we're going to do that now. Mike, offer up your first game for the top 5 games of 2020.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh yeah, that was this year.
Yeah, that was this year. This was when I made my impassioned speech over at GamesBeat to make it GamesBeat's game of the year. Still probably my favorite Metroidvania, and I love Metroidvanias, and there are so many good ones. This one pretty much has it all. It has that kind of understated style of storytelling that I like. There's a few text boxes here and there, but mostly things are just sort of told through the world and through context. Incredible visual, still a gorgeous and striking game. Super fun and smooth platforming. They made the combat a lot more interesting in this one. They made boss battles a thing here, and those are spectacular. I still think about the final boss against Shriek in this all the time. just an incredible finale, a fantastic package all around. Ori and the Will of the Wisp, one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, for me, it's this is a pretty easy one. Hades. I think this is the year that Hades went 1.0.
Hey, you're supposed to say something about Ori first.
Oh, sure. Yeah, but you did such a good job. And Ori is also very good. I do like Ori quite a bit. And when you did make your impassioned speech, I'm like, yeah, he's right. I do like it that much. And I was totally happy to make it Game of the Year for GameSpeed. I don't know where it went on my personal list. I think it was top 5, but I really, really do enjoy Ori. Hades, yeah. Is this the year that Hades went 1.0? I think it is.
This is Hades 1.0 year, and that's a pretty good video game.
It's a really good game. That is one that I just could not stop playing. It does so many things right. It kind of unlocks more potential in a genre that was already finding its footing. The roguelike genre was pretty well established at this point. And I think people were like, well, I don't like roguelites because I don't like it feeling like I'm not making progress towards something. Well, this solved that by being like,
yep,
here's story progression, which you probably care about even more because you're a freak. And it's like, yeah, this is good stuff. And every time you like do something, the game will move forward in so many more important ways that you feel like things are going in one direction and you haven't lost anything. And those skills that you're building up to play the game even better, that will matter more. And it is a game that actually is pretty important to upgrade your character overall. That stuff is there as well. But it goes to hand in hand with improving as a player. And then the story is very good. The characters are incredible. The music is incredible. It looks fantastic. It's such a good overall package.
Yeah, it's still definitely my favorite roguelike. But you're right, because doing the runs feels great, and I love how much variation there can be there. But having that permanent progression, not just with the upgrades that you're getting, but the way that the story is evolving and your home base is changing based on that stuff. And there are these goals beyond just completing a run. It felt so good. It was an absolutely addicting, never boring experience that I only stopped because I was at a point where okay, I kind of have at least done most of the carrots on the sticks that I care about. There could have been more. But I could have probably kept going. I sometimes wish I would go back to it. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Before you get to your game, I'm looking at the rest of the games that came out this year. It's I remember 2020 now being the year where I felt out of sync with most other people because there were so many huge games and most of them didn't hit for me. And it's I did spend a lot of time with Hades and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be just fine. Games like this are coming out and everyone else is getting these other games that they love. But it's I'm wondering where this list is going to end up because I'm interested to see what else you're going to get on here. So yeah, go ahead.
I see a lot of games that I like, and another really, really big one for me is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Right.
That was 2020. Yeah, and we had Rebirth just now. And it's interesting. People are you hear people kind of talk about which one they like more. I think I might like Rebirth more. I like the open world stuff in that a lot. I like having a ton of goofy and silly mini games. I also really like Remake's focus. I love that it just takes place in Midgar, and they let that one city really come alive. The stuff they did here with expanding characters like Jesse and other Avalanche characters worked really well for me. And this introduces that combat system, which I think is maybe the best combat system ever. It is definitely the best way to make a marriage between a turn-based RPG and something a bit more action-y. It's so good. I would be happy if more games used it. Love Final Fantasy VII Remake. Also, just insane soundtrack.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII is also one that I did enjoy. I didn't play a ton of it, but I think I got close to about 10 hours. So for me, that's quite a bit for an RPG of any kind. And the thing that clearly stuck out to me is it's a really fun combat system. Everyone is right about that. It really does hold up that entire game for me. And it looked great, and I thought the characters were pretty cool. And as someone who has only ever dabbled in Final Fantasy VII, it was okay, I have always seen these characters as iconographic. And I think they're doing a great job with them. And while I was playing it, not really fully understanding what they were trying to do with the story, I'm like, it would be interesting if they did this. And it turns out that's exactly the game they were making. And I think that's cool. And I know fans have their debates about that. But from where I'm standing, I'm like, I think they took a cool stab at something new and different for a remake. And I think that's really, really neat. For me, I think the next one I probably would go with is probably Spider-Man Miles Morales, actually.
Wow, that's this year. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Miles Morales, the character and the game. And I think this is such a good refinement, such a good expand alone of let's take the same city, let's take this character that we established in the first game, let's let players play as that character and keep things a little bit more limited, and everything is improved by that. And I don't think that necessarily the story holds up to Peter Parker's story in that first Spider-Man game, but it's good enough, and I think everything else is better. Just because they were like knew what was fun and they just did that instead. And they definitely learned their lesson for Spider-Man 2 as well. But Miles Morales really holds up for me.
Yeah, and hey, I love the Christmas vibes. That's a ton of fun.
Yes, and
kind
that
of makes me want to go back to it every Christmas. Just seeing New York snowy
you
and
could
all
just do that
decorated
opening
is fun.
mission, right? I think that opening mission. I still think that opening mission's way better than Spider-Man 2's opening mission with the Sandman. I know that people were really blown away by that, but it didn't work for me at all. And it was part of that was remembering how much I love Miles Morales' opening mission.
Okay. I am going to actually go with Streets of Rage 4 next.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm glad you remembered that.
Yeah, Streets of Rage 4 was man, this series had been dormant for an insanely long time. Would have never thought it was coming back. And then we got this awesome version with this gorgeous 2D art that I really love the way this game looks. They kind of made the combat system very similar to 2, but a bit more complex in some ways. There's more juggling and things like that. A ton of more playable characters. This game would later get pretty good DLC also, including a roguelike mode. I played through Streets of Rage 4 a ton of times. Really, really love it. I think this is part of what made beat 'em ups have a bit of a comeback there for a while. Maybe still going on, but this was a huge factor there. Good stuff.
I think it's the best beat 'em up ever. In my opinion, I really enjoy it, and I am so impressed that this is true for a lot of these games that are in this this zone of indies where it's like they want to keep updating and keep adding new stuff, and it's going to get like a roguelike mode of its own. It does. It's got that. It's very good. Play it every time my sister-in-law comes over. She's a big Streets of Rage fan. My wife is a big Streets of Rage fan. That they've played together as kids. Yes, they played together as kids. As sisters, they were like always playing Streets of Rage 2 usually, but they played all of them. And so I was like, I like Streets of Rage 2, as well. This new one's out. Let's play it. And the sister-in-law always brings over her copy, and she's played it a ton. So she has everything unlocked. And it's like such a cool game when you do have everything. They did such a good job with that out of the gate. And the fact that they kept supporting it, making it better, it is such a good game at this point. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2.
This is coming, yeah.
Yes, this is kind of a forever game for me at this point, where I just play this game whenever I need to just turn something on and turn my brain off. It is they really nailed it, and it's Neversoft, or not Neversoft. It was God, what the name of the studio that got
for Bob?
No, it's the one that got absorbed into not Volition, not
Vicarious
Viacom,
Visions?
Vicarious Visions. Thank you. Vicarious Visions going back to Tony Hawk after working on a lot of the ports for a very long time back in the day. And they just nailed the feel in in all the crucial ways. And it looked cool. And they did cool things like update the Tony Hawk model to make him look old and have him re-record his grunts so that it was old Tony Hawk, and all that stuff was a really nice touch. But it's like you just go back these levels and you remember where everything was and how they feel, and they still feel that way. And then it just like holds up in a modern way, and the soundtrack is mostly fully intact. They just did such a good job with this game.
Yeah, it's just Tony Hawk is so good, and this is just a fantastic way to play it now. It looks awesome. It feels great.
Yeah,
I love the way they kind of combine Tony Hawk 1 and 2 into one game.
Yes.
That feels right. Yeah, there's like a separation there, but it is kind of one game, and I love that. Yeah, I could play this whenever. They did a fantastic job. It's one of the best remakes ever. Okay, I could go a few places. I think I'm actually gonna go with 13 Sentinels next, though.
Right. I was wondering if this would come up. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't play it till quite a bit later when it came to the Switch, but that's a slightly different version, but not much. It's the same game. 13 Sentinels is largely a visual novel with very light kind of like point-and-click adventure game elements in that stuff, but it's that mixed with this kind of RTS tower defense-y mode also. And both aspects of it actually worked for me really well. I like the way Vanillaware games look a lot. I think that they're really striking, and they do a good job of making something that is unique. Not much else looks like it. And even though like this game's kind of high concept and the plot is a bit twisty and weird, sometimes that stuff doesn't work for me at all. This worked for me. There was enough of a logic to it, and it ultimately went somewhere satisfying that I liked the narrative of it all. This was just a very satisfying playthrough for me. I really enjoyed my time with 13 Sentinels.
And you love those naked teens.
Man, you had to say it.
Well, you said I had to say something about every game, and that's what I have to say about that game. That's what you
know,
get.
Jeff, I did bring this upon myself.
Yes,
You're right.
you did. I'm saying it's your fault. You got it. All right. I think the next one I would go with is Animal Crossing New Horizons. Important pandemic game. I think it really hit. Obviously, it hit really well. We talked about that a ton, but it's just a good, fun game. I think evidence of that is the fact that like you never really got an Animal Crossing before. I think you had a pretty good time with this game, right?
Yeah, and I liked Animal Crossing okay. This was definitely the most I played of one. This, to me, is the most 2020 game. This is the first game I think of when I think about the pandemic, when I think about 2020. This game got a bigger switch bump than anything.
Yes.
Animal Crossing always did, like, good, and then this was a massive hit in a way that was just really interesting to see. My favorite thing about this game is the glow up that the museum got. I loved how much the museum looked like an actual like natural history museum in this one. That was a ton of fun. It was great just decorating my island. You know, of course, there's some Nintendo stuff that still made it obnoxious or more annoying than it had to be to visit people's islands and all that stuff. But so much of what was fun about this was the zeitgeist. Everybody was playing this game. Everybody was talking about it. It was neat.
Yep, and a huge parts of it are like that's still Animal Crossing. I know other people have issues with like, oh, the villagers aren't quite as interesting as they used to be, in my opinion, or whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay. Everything kind of hit and worked for me, and that's a big part of that is I like the villagers being around. I don't need to interact with them a ton. I am trying to fill out the museum. That is what I'm going for. So just going fishing, finding things. That's having these daily activities, living on my own. That's the kind of stuff I like out of that game. They really got all those things right.
Anything else from you?
I think I said Animal Crossing New Horizons, so it's your turn.
Right.
Yes, I know. I did speak last there again, so that was confusing.
Excuse me, that one's on me. You're such an idiot, Mike. Here, I can yell at myself too. It's fine. Half-Life Alex.
Oh yeah, that's right. You played this game. That's right. You did.
Yeah, I did. And it's weird because I like this game a lot. I think its quality is undeniable, and yet I was still kind of miserable playing it just because it is a VR game, and I get kind of queasy and sick. And my room wasn't like quite big enough for it. It's like barely big enough, which isn't really big enough. But I think it is still so. It's when you ask me like, what's the best VR game? It's so obviously either this or Astro, and like there's some other things in between. But man, there's a lot going on with Half-Life Alex. It's commendable that they really went for it that hard on a VR game. Of course, they were a bit, they had incentive because they were selling VR headsets, so they had to make a killer app. I also just like Half-Life a lot. Half-Life 2 is one of my favorite games ever. So at least in some way, getting a new Half-Life game, not in some ways, like really just getting a new Half-Life game, that was fantastic.
Yeah, I played Alex up until the dingy underground parts. Then I got too spooked, and then I never went back to it. And I want to. Especially now with the Quest 3, then that works so well wirelessly. I'm like, I should just play that game again. I'll find some time for it. And I know everyone loves that game. So what I played of it was amazing. So and I'm not too surprised to hear that you put it on the list. I think probably the last one for me is Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. Clubhouse Games is one I really loved on DS. And it was one. Okay, you could do your little thing that you always do when a game comes up that you're like, it's not for me. And it's good when it doesn't register on the Backlor importance scale or the Menotti importance scale. I love Clubhouse Games on the DS. I thought Clubhouse Games on the Switch was really neat. They did a great job of making these games feel so tactile and shiny, and all the pieces like look really expensive, and it just feels really nice like to actually play the games. It was the kind of game where I could bring the Switch into bed, and me and Steph would play the Yahtzee clone in there every night before bed, and that was really fun. I don't know. I think they just nailed it. It's not maybe quite as fun as the DS one that has all the touch screen games with the stylus that work that way. There are touch screen games in this, I think, but it's like it wasn't quite the same. But the overall presentation was so incredibly done. I really love Clubhouse Games.
Jeff, I'm sorry that I had to unleash the Menotti judgments that harshly.
Listen, I knew it was coming. I knew it would come, but it still hurts. It does hurt.
Here's the thing, because I thought you were going to say something else, and I have a game that I think you're going. You would
I'll probably
put
kick myself,
higher.
Sure.
higher than Clubhouse Games, and that's Astro's Playroom.
Oh, sure. Yes. Astro's Playroom. Definitely. That's
a
great game.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like the cute little packet thing to show you like what your PS5 is like. And it's still maybe the best PS5 game, honestly.
It's probably still my favorite. Yeah.
It still feels so good to play. And look, it's member berries, but I love all the cameos, and they go deep with it, right? Like you do have Jumping Flash in there. Right? It's not just Kratos and Atreus. It's all of these things. It still does the most with showing why the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller is cool in almost a disappointing way, because it's never quite as good as it is in other games as it is in this. And of course, we had so much fun with the speedrun challenges. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, God, it's a game I played, before I beat it years later. I put 80, 90 hours into it, speedrunning it. And it ruled. It was so much fun to get into that. And huge part of that is it doesn't try to do a lot. The things it does in terms of movement and mechanics are very simple, but they're very well done. It feels really good. You understand what's going to happen every time you hit the jump and you do the laser double jump and everything. And then everything around that, surrounding it with, like you said, having the living museum that you're walking through at all times, or just like, be like, all right, we're going to go through a GPU stage, and there's going to be this amazing song about how the GPU like makes your games work and all that stuff. It's so cute and well done, and like feels like it was made by people that, it's joyful, and they nailed it. So, and that's a game that the kids go back to pretty frequently still, and every once in a while, I'll just hear that GPU song and be like, oh, that's so nice. So yeah, I love Astro's Playroom.
Is there one we want to bring up that's conspicuous in its absence?
Well, I mean, probably, but I can't think of anything else. Okay, wait. Unless you're trying to make a reference to a game that we're not going to put on here.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't like Last of Us. I played 8 hours of it, and I thought it was like, I think it's a game that has some cool mechanics, actually, but I stopped playing it because I stopped having fun.
Yeah, I played 10 hours of Last of Us Part 2, and I liked the first one even. And then, 10 hours into it, I just felt like oppressed. I was just like, gosh.
Right. And then,
I think I said it before. I've had enough of these miserable people and their miserable problems.
That's right.
I really did.
That's right. And then Doom Eternal, a lot of people are mentioning that. We'll get to the podcast producers here in a second. Doom Eternal is one where it's like, I played Doom 2016, loved it so much, and I was like waiting for Doom Eternal, and then the reviews were like just like on the edge enough that I'm like, I'll get around to that, and then I never did. It's one I really want to go back and play, but I just never have.
Yeah, there's some other ones in chat I see. I bet our podcast producers are going to bring them up. If not, we will. But yeah, there's a few more. Why don't we check out what?
All right. Yeah, give me a second to get that like perfectly set. No, it looks like it's mostly set up. There we go. This is from Nintendogs podcast threads right there. And then I click on this. There we go. All right. Dan Fiasco says Hades, which, that's already on the list for obvious reasons. Ben 7 says Genshin Impact. Have you ever even played Genshin Impact?
I played a little bit of Genshin Impact. I both got it and kind of didn't get it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Tommy Pencil says Crusader Kings 3. This is one I definitely tried to understand. And
Let's go.
I played a bunch of this, and it's like, I feel like I played enough to like understand it, but I didn't play enough of it to know why people love it so much.
Yeah,
it's all the systems, bro.
I know, and I'm a systems guy.
It was clearly a lot there, and it was deep. And I usually pride myself on somebody being like able to jump into any genre, and this was still a bit beyond me. I had to say, I couldn't. At least I wasn't able to stick with it long enough to find the fun. Right, I could see it was there. I could sense its presence.
It's
I just wasn't able to get there.
Storytelling.
Right, the emergent storytelling. I was starting to get some of that. It's just like, I think maybe I need to play it on stream or something. Bubs EG says Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Absolutely. Hosp says Spiritfarer. That's one you played, right?
Spiritfarer is a cute game. That is a good. I didn't beat it or anything, but I did enjoy it for a bit. Very nice artwork. Look, it is a cozy game, but it's a good cozy game. It's good,
but it's about dead animals, right? So that makes it better for you. It gets you back on your good edgelord side.
Yeah, I like that they're all fucking dead.
Screaming Madden says, I know I can't parse this, Mike. What is happening here?
I don't know. There's me and you. Was this when we were doing our RB shtick? That can't possibly be. That had to be a little bit later, I feel like.
Yeah.
Although maybe not, because gosh. Dang it, because when the podcast started popping off, it was when we were talking about Xbox Series S, because you had it hidden behind you, man.
I was definitely still in Columbus. Was it Crusader.
I mean, I see a picture of
Cook
Madden.
Serve Delicious.
Oh,
3.
Cook Serve Delicious 3. Yes, that makes sense. There we go. Okay.
What? You made that game up?
No, that's a real thing.
Okay, sounds nice. I like how Aphrodite's naked
Yeah,
in those
that's
Hades games.
that's good.
I like she's
Aphrodite.
even more naked in the next one somehow.
She's like, well, she's still the same amount of naked, but she thrusts it forward more.
Well,
yeah, it's a new pose. I like that.
Yeah. She puts it in your face. Yes, Hades, of course.
Yeah,
and that's
she
from
can put it in
Villain
my
Mac.
face.
There it is. Nick Turbo says Yakuza Like a Dragon.
It is a very good game.
Yep.
One that I wish I only fell off of it, not because I wasn't enjoying the games, because other things happened, and I wish I didn't.
Yeah, I bet I could go back to it and enjoy it even more now that I played so much Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I did play some Like a Dragon. I do remember the trying to find the phantom pisser or whatever, to find the guy that was actually peeing, and I really liked that quest, and that made me want to play more of the game. Freedom McLiberty Balls says Doom Eternal. Anime is temporary, Doom is eternal. Yes.
I was talking about this earlier in my show. I don't know why this one didn't hit for me like the previous Doom did. And I know most people have a problem with the first-person platforming. I don't. I like first-person platforming. I don't know if it was the long levels or what. And it's a good game, and I like it, but it didn't wow me.
I love Doom 2016, so I need to play it and decide for myself. Chaos Buckaroo says 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rem. Joy Z says
This is Kentucky Route Zero.
Yeah, Kentucky Route Zero, right? The last episode came out this year, right?
Yeah, so we finally had the full collection. This year, we played this in the Game as a Game Club. It was not really my thing. I'll tell you what, you want to make Dan play a game that will be torturous to him. If somehow you could force him to play Kentucky Route Zero.
I feel like you wouldn't be able to actually force him to do it.
Yeah, I think you just wouldn't.
Yeah, I think he just wouldn't. Dr. Ryan says The Last of Us Part 2.
There it is. There's that game. There's Ellie.
There she is.
I remember I thought this was the box art. People were still shocked that Joel was the main character, isn't it?
Yep. Do you know Revenge is bad, Mike? Low Rule says Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yep.
God, it's so good.
Absolutely.
But is the Buster Sword the coolest video game weapon?
I mean,
they're the Keyblade, right?
I think I'm partial to the fucking gun sword that what's his name has. Squall has.
Yeah, the guns. Yeah, man, they were on a pretty good roll there for
They've
a while.
been some cool weapons. I do think the Buster Sword rules. Yes. I don't know what this is.
That's come on, that's
Sentinels.
13 Sentinels again.
Okay, I've never played this game.
Well, it just looks so vanilla-ware-ish.
I guess so. When I see the movement, yes. Flobotron says Ghost of Tsushima.
So that's
play a little
one
bit
that
of
we
this
haven't
game.
brought up yet, huh?
Yes, I played that. Yes, I played a little bit of this game. My plan is when it launches on PC, I'm hopping on. I'm 100% jumping on this game and playing it for real this time.
I played through all of it. I liked it quite a lot. It didn't super stick with me in any big way, but I had a lot of fun while I was playing it.
Jamie H says Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. I was like, I know people like this game. I was wondering if anyone would mention it for game of the or their favorite game of 2020.
Yeah. I know people like it. I also hear from a lot of people who think it's not as good as the first Hyrule Warriors.
Sure, because it's more focused. And I think what do you want from a Warriors game that's based on Zelda? It's like, hey, everything's in there.
That's what was fun about the other ones. Here's Toon Link and
Tingle.
And the fucking Skull Kid or whatever. Everyone's here. And now it's it has to be an actual prequel to a real Zelda game, and it kind of felt less for that.
Willow Davis says Animal Crossing New Horizons, which one of my favorite things about New Horizons or any Animal Crossing game is just seeing other people's stuff, just seeing people's characters having their fun, and this is so nice.
That's good stuff.
Ali Mara Cerveza Crystal says Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Yes, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, the fighting game.
This is the most Street Fighter 2 game ever created by Arxis. He's so good, and he was so unlucky that the pandemic killed him, and he had a bad netcode.
Yes, and then that's
when
what
this game came out, shutdown happened. Yep. It was so unfortunate.
That's what Ali Miracle has in here is a meme about how side games released it during the pandemic with no rollback, and then later updated with rollback after the pandemic. So, yeah, killing the game. Mr. Bowler says Bug Snacks, a game that I think is interesting. I never played a ton of it. I tried. It didn't hit for me.
Yeah, I reviewed this game. I played through all of it. I think I gave it 3 out of 5. I liked it, but I didn't love it.
Yeah. Always Be Clothed. This is the other one we didn't mention. Cyberpunk 2077. Mike, I know. God, I know you love this game.
I didn't like this game playing it like last year or whatever when it was supposedly good. I can't imagine what I would have thought of it in 2020.
Yep. I think that game's fine. I don't like it that much though, so it's not going to make this list. Fusion says The Last of Us Part 2. Matt Rare next game here says Trackmania. Is this like just straight up? Did they just straight up call it Trackmania, or which version of this is?
I never played many of the. I never played.
I think it's
any
just
of the
Trackmania. Yeah, it's just like the new one.
I like Trackmania,
Yeah,
but I was always more of a Trials guy. Trials is my kind of like start over and over and over again.
Sure.
Bench JC says Persona 5 Royal. Mike, do you want to consider Royal?
I mean, look, we gave a lot of Persona games their flowers, including the base version of Persona 5.
Yep.
I know people.
No, you did not, you piece of shit. You left out the 2017 list.
Moving
That's
on.
right, didn't
You
make
don't
it.
even like Nier Automata, and you put that on instead.
I do like Nier Automata. I like it a lot.
JD Camp says Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I do appreciate everyone trying to stump me with their images here, but the chat's help or the producers help by putting it down here. I'm like, oh yeah, that is Flight Simulator, and you can see the gauges down there. But it's a Millennium Falcon flying in San Francisco with fucking Godzilla attacking.
Oh yeah.
I should go back to that game.
Are you excited for the new one?
Yeah, that's right. There's a new one coming out this year. I'll play that, and I'll install some of those mods at that point and have some fun. Shiamiro says Phasmophobia. Yeah, I played that like recently, and I had a good time with it.
Was this the one you made me play with you on Giant
Yeah,
Bomb? once?
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
you
Wow,
made
you make
Mike
it
play and
sound like that.
completed it.
Made me play with you. yeah, I did.
It was fun. I had fun with my
Yeah, me
friends.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phasmophobia is a great video game. Shut
Yeah,
up, Mike.
that's what I was
Great
worried about.
Pushing it. I mean, it's not as good as Persona 5, right, Sean?
Alex says Hades. Garm says
funny.
Astro's Playroom. Casual says Like a Dragon. Breadfish says Half-Life Alex. Colorado Knights of the Old Republic says Like a Dragon. The Rebirth Wolf 5 says Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time.
Oh, here's one I forgot. I love Crash Bandicoot 4. That is a super fun 3D platformer. A lot of challenge, tons of great level diversity, really fun level themes. Crash Bandicoot 4 is awesome, actually. I do want to consider that one.
No Clubhouse games. It is.
Yes, yeah! That's your promise that it's not as good as Clubhouse games.
That's right. Two-time champ Beefhammer says Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Oh no, I broke it. Knee Deep in Blood and Guts says Pikmin 3 Deluxe, which, yeah, God, man, kind of. I might consider it, but it's not going to be able to make it. Oh shit! Boomer of the Vault 21 says Hard Space Shipbreaker, which is a fantastic game.
Yeah, but our list is so filled with that Clubhouse game. It has a really good version of Solitaire.
Oh my God!
Get his ass, Mike. Get his ass.
Wait, I thought you liked Clubhouse games. I'm getting attacked from all sides here. I didn't know that would happen.
Look, put Persona 5 on the list and we can talk, Grubb.
Oh man, you're a shit out of luck there. Big Tony, the Final Fantasy guy, says Final Fantasy VII Remake. Doom and the big surprise there, Final Fantasy guy. Doom Crossing says Doom Eternal. I was like waiting to see if this gift turned into Animal Crossing just because they had their love affair that year. T Money OG says Like a Dragon. Lots of Like a Dragon love.
Yeah, by the way, I think Animal Crossing got the better end of that Doom Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
thing
a little
that was
bit.
going on there.
A little bit. Seraphis Gain said Risk of Rain 2, a game I do enjoy, and maybe we'll go back to eventually. I mean, it's Hades, but also Golf on Mars. I liked Golf on Mars.
I remember that. Yeah.
Warden Cliff says Spider-Man Miles Morales, which, as always, like these Spider-Man games don't get mentioned that often in these lists from the community. It feels like I think everyone likes these games. I don't think anyone really puts it at number one for their year.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I bet it was in my top 5. I don't know if it would have been my number 1. I know it was my number 1, but yeah, Miles Morales was very good as a launch game. I know it's cross-platform, but I liked it a lot at having it there for the launch. PS5 had a good launch, and this is a big reason why.
Big reason why. Johnny Boy says Clubhouse Games 51 worldwide
Jeff,
games.
I know you think that this isn't like serious enough of a game, but
I'm gonna let it slide this time. We won't punish Johnny Boy. But maybe watch your step next time, honey. B says Final Fantasy VII Remake.
The honeybee inn sequence was a very good. Everything in Wall Market or whatever it's called was a lot of. That's a fun game. I love Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Lee Woo says Spider-Man Miles Morales. All right, there's another one. Adam GC says Fall Guys, a game I like, but I'm not going to consider it for my game of the year.
I like Fall Guys a lot. If it was just me, I might. I still go back to it sometimes.
Oh, yeah,
I always have
same.
fun with my brothers and my friends. It's good stuff.
Hammond of Texas says Microsoft Flight Simulator. Lenny Cool Dick Denver says Ghost of Tsushima. Beautiful Zoob says Spiritfarer. Vision 49 says Like a Dragon. Leah the Hottest Mess says Final Fantasy VII Remake. Teriyaki Blue says Gears Tactics, an actual really good game that I just doesn't really. I just didn't care enough about the world to play through tactics games of it, but what I did play was very well done.
I never played a second. I have no idea what this even looks like. Actually, I'm kind of curious about it now.
It looks like XCOM. It looks a lot like XCOM.
Makes sense.
Clink says, is this 13 Sentinels?
There you go. You got it.
I'm going to get there eventually. Laser Wolf says Animal Crossing New Horizons. Input name here also says 13 Sentinels.
That's right. The kid with a gun.
That's a kid with a fucking gun and a bunny in her purse. Man, okay. I was about to spoil it, but I actually don't remember, so I can't even spoil it. Weezeman says Hades. Caleb L says, oh yeah, Super Mario 35.
Oh man, there are a lot of good games this year. I regret not playing. I don't know why I didn't play more of this at the time. I wish I did.
I really enjoyed it. I wish it was still alive. Mex said Animal Crossing with their villager in a prison. Like a Dylan, Infinite Wealth says Like a Dragon. Mitsurugi says Wasteland 3. Man, that's a game I've wanted to play more of.
Hey, Brian Fargo.
Yeah, the Fargo.
I was streaming. I was asking people, is anyone else thinking about these old game developers like Richard Garriott, or is that me being a boomer? And then everyone was pretty quick to tell me it's me being a boomer.
I think about him sometimes, Mike. Adam says The Last of Us Part 2. Empanada Eater says the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
The Hell House, yes. Oh, such a good fight. So many good boss fights in that game.
Nick says Half-Life Alex. With
Incredible, Nick.
Yeah, what a good. The best part of this game was just messing around in the world, and this is a gif of someone drawing a penis on a wall with a.
It was like
dry
very
ice
early on. It's like you can actually use the marker. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Actually, thank you.
Very cool. Wong Gift says Streets of Rage 4 and Ghost of Tsushima. Jodicus says Final Fantasy VII Remake. Christian says Amogus.
We already considered Among Us in 2018 when the mobile version debuted. I'm sorry.
All right. Turbo Sean said Persona 5 Royal because you assholes left off vanilla Persona 5 in 2017. Well, maybe it'll make it this time.
My confidence is not high.
No, it's not gonna happen.
All right, Mike.
I was shocked to find out apparently that new party member is only with you for a dungeon or two or something, or joins you very late.
she's there in the entire game, Mike, which you would know if you played it.
Then who are people talking about? Then I thought
she's in your party for the final. See, it's like talking to a brick wall.
That's what I mean.
This man knows nothing about the genre.
That's what I mean in your party. I don't mean. Yeah, I'm sure she's in the background or she talks to you, but yeah, whatever. I'm sure. Yeah, very, very, very good.
What's the game you wanted me to put on here?
Crash Bandicoot 4. Although I feel great about its chances.
Is it a Crash Through Time? What's the subtitle?
It's About Time.
It's about. That's right. That's good.
But thank you for including the subtitles. You know how I am about that.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you're a stickler. All right. So we have Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Hades, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Streets of Rage 4, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Half-Life Alyx, Clubhouse Games 51, Worldwide Classics. There's 51 games in there.
That's
Astro's
crazy, dude.
Playroom.
They got checkers and chess.
Hard Space Shipbreaker, and Backgammon. Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time.
They have Chinese checkers?
I think so, yeah.
Holy shit!
Okay.
Rock me, baby, like a wagon wheel. Rock me,
There he goes.
baby, and way you feel.
See, you're bricked up for Clubhouse Games. Let's go.
Oh, I'm all girth mastered over here.
All right. Listen, we're gonna move up Ori and Hades right away, and probably Final Fantasy VII Remake. If I know you, does that sound right?
Sounds. There's a lot of good games here, but that sounds right. There's so many good games actually. A lot of games we both really like. A lot of games I really like.
I'd probably move up Astro's Playroom.
I think we should. That game is me and you very much a jam. We bonded a lot over that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Astro's Playroom. And now it's hard because there are a bunch of games that I want to get on there, and we're just running out of time. Can you scroll down a little bit just so I could?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Totally.
What else is being considered? Yeah, look, Crash isn't gonna make it. It sucks. I like it a lot. If it was just my top 5, maybe a hard call over here. I don't even think Half-Life Alyx quite makes it. Again, I hate that dock things are just like being the kind of game they are, but VR is just it can only do so much for me because it just inherently makes me sick. What am I supposed to do when a game inherently makes me sick? How am I supposed to overlook that? I just don't know. It's difficult.
Well, okay, so wait, what are you thinking about moving up?
I think the 3 I'm really thinking about, well, there's 4. There's 4 that I'm really thinking about.
I think I lean towards Streets of Rage 4, personally.
Streets of Rage 4 is one of them.
Okay.
Miles Morales, Tony Hawk 1 and 2, and Animal Crossing, definitely. Animal Crossing is such the 2020 game for me in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I feel good about that, but man, that's like.
Let me tell you what.
Honestly, leaving off Tony Hawk and Streets of Rage is really tough for me.
Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
We could take off Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay, let's do it.
I like it a lot. It doesn't need to be on here. It's fine, and we could put up Streets of Rage and Animal Crossing.
Cool. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna miss
Tony Hawk. It's a little harder just because it is, it's remakes. I understand. I know. People upset.
Totally. And I like. I mean, God, I love Animal Crossing and Streets. Those are both my picks. Or no, Streets Rage was yours, but I would have picked it had you not.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish you guys could feel the little heart attack I just had. Remake and Royal both. Oh Jesus! I hate it here.
I love Final Fantasy VII Remake, of course, but this is I gotta be considerate here. It's not just about
be
me.
true to yourself, Mike. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that means we are cutting Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, Half-Life Alyx, Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics, Hard Space Shipbreaker, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I have to say goodbye to a bunch of board games. Mike has to say goodbye to a bunch of naked teens. We all have to make sacrifices here.
We're all hurting over here.
We're all hurting. And that means in our top 5, unordered at the moment, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Hades, Astro's Playroom, Streets of Rage 4, Animal Crossing New Horizons.
I do hate not having Final Fantasy VII Remake on there, but
it's
how
over.
it is.
It's over.
It's over,
You got Ori at number 1 last time. Can we put Hades at number 1 this time?
I was going to say, I think probably should do Hades number 1.
Okay. All right,
Hades is so freaking good.
Yeah,
I had
love that
time
game.
with Ori.
Yeah.
Hades is just, Hades is insanely high quality. One of the most quality games I can think of.
Yeah, it's just, it's like kind of the ideal video game to me at a certain point. They just do everything right. I think about when I play modern games today, and the first game that comes to mind, I'm like, it would be better if they did stuff that's more like Hades. If the upgrades were more like Hades. If like I was, if this dash move, I could keep upgrading the dash move so that when I dashed into bullets, they like bounced back at stuff. Like,
I love that stuff.
I love that stuff, and it's like Hades nailed that better than any other game at that time, and pretty much any other game since then, other than now Hades 2 coming out with the technical test. All right, I'm looking at this. I think I'm mostly okay with the rest of the list as is. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually think I'm pretty good with it as is right now. It looks pretty right to me. Man, it's interesting.
This is an us list, though. This is an us.
This is
list.
A very us list. I think people are going to be upset. We have left. You're right. We left off a lot of the big AAA games that most people cared about.
Yeah, and they're not, many of those aren't even in the short list.
We didn't even consider the game that actually won
We're
everyone's
going to be in a lot of trouble
this year. We're going to be in trouble.
Oh boy,
Sean's already mad.
Yeah, right. That's just a taste of it. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, we already lost the mod. We're going to get in trouble this time. Yeah, no one's going to agree with us on Streets of Rage 4. They're wrong.
No, absolutely not. But I'll show it to my wife.
So wrong about that. That's a you problem.
Right. We're right. Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's not our fault Streets Rage 4 is definitely better than The Last of Us Part 2. I'm sorry, it just is.
Oh God, yes.
All right, the list one more time. Number 1, Hades, then Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Astro's Playroom, Streets of Rage 4, and rounding out the top 5 is Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Mike, we did good work here.
We did. There's a bit of me. It's like, why'd I let Animal Crossing on there and get rid of obviously remake? But it's done.
It's done, and it looks pretty good. It looks good to me, so thank you for doing that. All right, we're gonna take one last break, and we'll come back and talk about what we've been playing.
Time.
All right.
For a break.
Thanks for sticking with us, everybody. We got one last
Okay,
section
Thanks for
here.
sticking after this fucking.
All right.
What the fuck does that?
No one's yelled at us yet. It's been 5 seconds, but we'll see. All right,
Oh.
I'll bring
All
it back
right,
in if you're ready. You said you were ready, Mike?
Yeah, I'm ready, sir.
All right,
All right.
let's do that.
And we're back, and I just decided I'll leave up the list for a little bit because I did just post it to Twitter so people can come in here and yell at us. Yeah, all right, Mike, what have you been playing? I've been playing a handful of games, but interested to hear your mini shoot adventures, maybe.
Yeah, that's what's been really exciting this week for me is mini shoot adventures. This is the easiest pitch is it's Zelda as a twin stick shooter, especially the old school top down Zeldas. Dan Reichert actually recommended this to us. You played first, and then I jumped on it. And yep, this is fan freaking tastic. This just feels so good to play. It really is like as simple as that pitch. And yet they find ways to make it work wonderfully. It's very simple, right? This is not a game with the dialogue box JPEGs trying to add some like boost.
It's a Dewey game.
It's very Dewey. It's like Zelda. It's mostly like Zelda 1, really. Like you just kind of start. In fact, there's like, did you see the one screen that is just the first Zelda 1 screen, complete with where the cave is and everything? Like that's awesome.
I don't know if I did notice that. I did.
Yeah.
I thought the first dungeon was like, oh my god, this is the most Zelda 1 ass dungeon. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. So like, there are dungeons and you get upgrades. It's, it's a little Metroidvania, but it's more Zelda than anything. But there's also like leveling up. And you level up, you get points. You can increase things like your fire rate, your damage, your fire distance, and all that stuff. So you have like the persistent upgrades. Even just like the UI is very good. Like when you level up, these little rocks that get put into like your jar, and that's really satisfying to see. Like the sound design, very good. The whole thing is just an incredible delight. I don't know. There's a whole lot of people talking about this game right now. It came out this month.
It is overwhelmingly positive on Steam. I think people that are playing it are getting it,
and it's only on Steam right now. And again, there is a demo. I think progress carries over, so I think you should do yourself a favor, check it out. I understand it works very well on your Steam Deck and probably other portable devices.
It is the kind of thing where I'm playing it. It's like it's doing all those simple things, but it's doing them so well. And all those simple things are the kinds of game styles that tickle my brain. Like, the Zelda, great. That's the kind of exploration. And the fact that they do just get into it, don't have a ton of text, that works for me. Fantastic. But then, like, the combat is, it's dual stick shooter, but it's not like, I suppose it is like Robotron or Geometry Wars, but it feels very bullet hellish. And,
yes.
And that is like, ooh, that's a cool feeling to be like, all right, that's the combat. And now I like bullet hells, but I don't like playing through a whole bullet hell shmup these days. I'm mostly like, I need something else. And this is the something else.
This could be really stressful because they have things like big game overs and you're kind of doing things over a lot. Here, like the bullet hell segments, if you fail it, you go back a little bit, you start over. And a lot of times it's like the big set piece moments, like boss fights.
Right. But it's like, I'm getting into it. I'm like in the zone and I'm like doing the finesse movements through all the bullets. And I'm like, oh, I'm nailing this. This is great. And it's because it is in like bite-sized chunks. It's not the whole thing. So I can like save up the reserve of the parts of my brains it takes to actually accomplish those things and come at it and tackle them. And it just makes you feel so cool. And then you get to go explore this world and you're unlocking new abilities and your little ship can do cool things it couldn't do before. And Zelda Metroidvania style stuff really nails it.
I love that you just are a sentient spaceship or whatever. You're not a person controlling a ship. You are a ship.
Yep. It's and I got the upgrade of like all the little crystals you get going into that bigger crystal and like filling it up and like the piling up inside there. Like that looks so great. Everything, it is a really well polished take on all these ideas that I continue to be blown away by it. And I started playing it. I just couldn't put it down last night. I played a ton more of it.
Yes, Mini Shoot Adventures, everybody, is the name of that one.
Yep. I think it's $15 on Steam. It's around there. Yeah.
So far, my favorite comment on Twitter after you posted our top 5 from 2020 was the one that says, "I didn't even know Streets of Rage 4 existed." Lol.
That's pretty good, actually.
There's a lot of people who are very happy we put it on there.
Yes, I'm glad to see that. That's nice. And then Tokyo Game Life says, "Why waste your money on 5 games when you could get 50 in Clubhouse games?" A very good point.
That's true. That's a good point.
All right. I did play that Tales of Kinzera Zao. I talked a little bit about. Did I talk about that on the last Nintendogs? I can't remember where.
I feel like you've talked about it somewhere or another. Where
I've talked about it a bunch, but yes, exactly. It's like it's worth checking out if you think that the story looks good and the characters look cool, because that stuff does work. But then other than that, I'm kind of looking around for the next game. Mini Shoot Adventures definitely has overtaken me a lot, right? And I'm glad it has. But I'm going back to Expeditions. I started another Crab's Treasure today. I played that on stream a little bit. My system was being really weird, so I couldn't tell if it was the game sort of lagging and chugging because the game isn't optimized, or if because my system was breaking. I'm gonna chalk it up to my system at this point. I want to go back to that and play it for real and see how it feels. But as I was playing it on stream, it's I think I'm getting this, but the Dark Souls side of everything, the Souls-like aspects, I'm okay, can I be dodge rolling out of the way of these attacks? And it's some of them felt like I really couldn't, so I'm gonna have to figure out how those work. I'll figure out the rules of the world a little bit more. But the parry system does feel pretty good, and I like that. And then I played a little bit more Stellar Blade as well, and the parry system in there feels really good. I'm deciding which parry system am I going to go with. I think I am probably leaning towards Stellar Blade though at the moment. Beyond that though, it's been a lot of mini shoot adventures, and Fallout New Vegas, I started a run of that. That's actually been really good. I am really liking that game quite a lot. I'm 3-4 hours in, and I'm already feel the hooks in me. And I want to be playing it all the time, but I'm playing it on stream for Giant Bomb, so I'm we'll have to find more time on the site so I can make that happen more frequently. But that's really working for me. That probably does it for me though, Mike. Anything else you've been playing?
No, I mean, more Unicorn Overlord, but not have anything new to say. Just still really enjoying it and excited to play more.
Yep. All right. I think we should wrap this show up.
Well, we got a few more super chats.
Oh, yes. Let's hit those, and then we'll hit the music. Mike, what are the super chats?
Chris Quinton says, Minotti's apple orchard. How do you even say that word? I don't deal with orchards very often.
Orchard?
Orchard?
Orchard. No, he's not talking about orchard. He's talking about an apple orchard. He hates apples so much, he's never even considered an orchard.
Minotti's Apple Orchards CEO, Mike Minotti, and the man who's in for a blighting but can survive it because he's fueled by Prime, Jeff Grubb. Is there a game as Jeopardy this month? Love you guys either way. Keep it up. Yeah, are we going to do one this month?
The plan is next Friday because I've been busy reviewing stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
So we can make it happen.
Next Friday. T Bucket 23 says, can we get Mike to impersonate Jeff after Jeff framed Mike for helping Dan out in Super Dan 64? Yeah, sure. It's something like, it was sort of like, it's me, Mike Minotti, and I'm going to help Dan
I feel like if I tried to do a shoot impersonation of you, it would be more offensive somehow. I think I agree. Yes. Sounds like I got to just play up the characterization. Yeah, full of Mamma mia. Yeah.
Mamma mia.
I don't know. There's a lot of way to describe my voices. I don't know if Italian is one of them, really. Jacob
I'm Mike Minotti. I'm going to look at Disney Plus.
They got a Disney Plus, just like in the home country. The old country. Jacob Bench says, Sean, please yell at them about Persona 5 Royal. Oh, he did. Don't worry.
I hate you both.
He did. Don't worry. Cool. I always think it's Royale. I don't know. I always think it's Persona 5 Royale and not Royal.
Assault in injury.
All right.
That gets me every time.
Well, I'm hitting the button. Mike Minotti, where can people find you on the internet?
Twitch at Tolkoto. Been having fun streaming there a bunch. Been streaming that mini shoot adventures. It was a good time.
Yeah, I enjoyed that stream. That was great.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely want to do some more old games again soon. I think some GameCube stuff. Plenty of things to get to. Got to do some Quackshot here soon. I'm gonna give Mythologies at least one more good stream. I think I'm a little over it. I got to be honest. We'll see. We'll see how I feel the next time.
Yeah, you said you were doing one more, right? Have you done that yet? No?
At least one more, and I haven't done it yet.
Okay, we'll do one more, and then if you're done, you're done. You've done your bid for King and Country, whatever Shatner says in that movie.
Yeah, something like that. So we'll see. How about you, Jeff? What's going on?
I don't know. Lots of stuff. Check out Giant Bomb. We've been doing a ton of things over there this week. Got some new art I'm excited about. over there that Jerem did a really good job with. So our streams look a little prettier, I think, in my opinion. Yeah, and so we've got tomorrow we'll be doing a UPF. Fallout 76 still seems to be the plan there. And then BCR, we're gonna do a review cast for Stellar Blade, actually, and that'll be a good time. But then I don't know. I am ready to like do some stuff around the house and kind of lay about this weekend. Last weekend got out of hand with the stuff I was doing. I need to just take it easy.
I got a lot of stuff done in the house last weekend, and it improved my mood the whole week. Just walking around looking at this, like being in my bedroom, like, wow, this room's clean.
Yes,
way better.
I cleaned the kids. I helped the kids clean their rooms, and I did some other stuff, and I didn't get to take care of my
help.
Oh, fucking Christ! And I didn't get to do anything in my areas, and I've been kind of miserable this week because it's a disaster in here. Like I got a new table, and so the old table's sitting out there on its side. There's so much shit I just want to do, so that's what I'm doing this week, and I'm gonna clean this whole zone up and feel better about myself. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know, maybe watch a movie, play a lot of video games.
That'd be crazy watching a movie. I still want to see Godzilla versus Kong or Cross Kong, whatever.
Yes, right. They're crossing. They're not versing anymore. Yes,
they're not versing.
Crossing parentheses positive, I think. Yes. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.
Rock me, mama, like a wagon. Rock me, mama.
I am an animal.
Did I saw correctly that King Kong has a fucking gauntlet? Glove now? What's up with that?
He's got a bracer.
Because he's not as cool as Godzilla. The guy gave him tools and shit.
Mammalian pride. He's cooler.